All right, everybody. It is another Tuesday night in the year of our Lord 2025, and you all know what that means. I'm waiting on the hat. That means we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the new spot that we're at, right? No more of this other one. The new spot. All gloves off. Sports Media proudly brings to you its podcast, Tag Team Champions of the World, the Cleat Geek Mike Valentine, and there to my right is my buddy Cheese, and we are here, and you are here, so it's time for the Lights Out Sports Podcast. Oh, yes, we've got all kinds of stuff today. Let me take this hat off here. This thing gets heavy. Take this thing off.
Backed by popular demand. The hat was backed by popular demand.
Yes, we had to bring the hat back. We had to. Make sure I thing all the way off this time. Oh. Geez, we got some great stuff today, buddy. All
We
right,
sure
man.
do.
We do. College football, NFL, MLB, and a big announcement here in just a few moments. We're going to do something a little bit different. Cheese, how has your week been besides, pulling out that beautiful hair of yours when when Matt LaFleur calls plays?
That's how you want to start the show?
Yes. I want to poke the bear right away, sir.
Poke the bear. Other than that, yeah, it's been a good week. I've been pretty grumpy since last night. So the last 24 hours been very grumpy.
Well, I'm sure you have. I mean, I know a lot of our fans saw your post that you did last night. One of those things that you don't do at night, but you were so consumed by it, you had to do it last night. The last I looked, there was over 1,100 people that viewed that post. You got updated numbers for us, sir?
About an hour ago, it was over 1,400.
All right. We've already got a comment here that I'll get to in just a moment. But, of course, we can't do a whole lot before we do the walk-up music. And here we go.
Are you ready? 20 seconds start now.
Oh, 2 comments. We got a bunch. And over 35 people
remaining.
already with us.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time.
All right, buddy. Here we are. Myself, Mike Valentine. There is Cheese. He's with us today. The 5 flaming 5 and 5. I can't wait for this one. But for the first time in a long time, Cheese, no Green Bay Packers questions. I wanted to poke the bear in the beginning, but, not in the 5 flaming 5 and 5.
That's great. I talked a lot about them in the video last night, but first time I ever did a video at night. And so, no more needs to be said.
All right, so we are going to do a lot of college football today. We are going to do a little bit about Texas and Georgia. We're going to do our winners, losers, and the games we're looking most forward to. We're going to also talk about LSU, and then we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do some quick hits today as we go through everything. MLB, we'll look at the Rookie of the Year. We're going to talk a lot about that, actually. We're going to look at the highest paid players at every position from this past season and see what everybody thinks about that. We're then going to talk about the whole gambling aspect because we got to between Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase. And then we're going to look at the free agents. We're going to call them the top 5 free agents. We're going to do it every week. We're going to look at those top 5 free agents in first base. And I can't wait to do all of this stuff. And then I know you've got some football stuff for us here. We're going to talk some Travis Hunter, some Joe Burrow, Trey Hendrickson, and of course, we're going to look at the playoff standings as well. So all of that and much, much more. In fact, we're going to do a pretty big announcement here pretty much right away. But man, we got comments everywhere. So I got to come over here. All right, we got...
Hello.
Hey, Instant 8, huh?
Howdy.
All right. Glad you guys are with us.
Which one?
I don't know. That's probably me.
I did not sleep well last night. I know that. I was so mad last night. It was probably after 2 before I went to sleep, so I did not sleep well last night. So maybe it's...
All right. Of course, Ramen on Wheels says hello. And
hello.
We knew the light was dim. I turned it out on purpose, sir, but it's okay. It's all right. It's it must be a first-time person, so you'll get there. You'll get there. It's okay. But we love first-time people, man. We really do. All right, let's do a bunch of these things here. Okay, so we're gonna do the 5 flaming 5 and 5. All right.
Okay.
That is going to be first, and Cheese, of course, you know the rules because you've been here every week. But let's explain it to the ladies and gentlemen who may not. So I'm going to give Cheese 5 questions. Cheese has no idea what 5 questions are coming. And then he has 5 minutes in order to get those questions correct. And if he doesn't, he's going to burst into flames. But if he does, then we'll talk about that last question that we do just a little bit more. All right? So that's how the first part of the show works. It's a little bit game show, a little bit sports trivia, a little bit venting, all kinds of good stuff here by Cheese. So,
trivia. I didn't study.
Maybe.
Study. Okay.
Then, of course, we got the poll question we got to get to. We got all kinds of stuff today, man. Poll question did really well today, and we appreciate everybody who voted. We did it a little different, so we appreciate it. Now, I'm going to put the flames up on the screen when I read you the first question. The first one will be an MLB question for you, sir. So,
okay.
As far as hard hit percentage this season, Roman Anthony was number 1 at 60.3%. Kyle Schwarber, no surprise, 59.6%. He's number 2. Another one that should be no surprise to you, Shohei Ohtani, 58.7%. And the fourth one was Aaron Judge at 58.2%. So my question to you is that when you hear all of those people, when you hear the names that are attached to those percentages, how much stock do you put in hard hit percentage?
I like some other stats more than that. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you swing and miss, it does not count, right? It's only when you make contact. So if you swing and miss, like Kyle Schwarber does a lot, it doesn't hurt your percentage. It's the percentage of when you make contact, how hard you hit it, correct?
Correct.
So that's why Aaron Judge isn't first. Because Kyle Schwarber swings and misses. Like Roman Anthony, interesting. He was the Finals Rookie of the Year, I believe.
Yes.
I guess it was a small sample size. I don't even think he played half the season. But that's interesting. He was a big-time prospect. So
it's 150 or more at bats, by the way.
150 more bats. So yeah, going forward, that's a player to watch. Roman Anthony. He could be one of the best players in the game going forward. Very talented player, but I prefer barrel rate better than hard hit percentage.
All right. Let's jump for a second to football, NFL. Would you have waited until the season was over to fire Brian Daboll? Pretty simple, straightforward question.
Yes, I would have, except if the only reason to fire someone midseason, and I think it's what the Titans did as well, is to give the interim coach a chance to turn things around. I think the Titans wanted to see if Mike McCoy could turn things around in Tennessee. He won't. And maybe the Giants like Mike Kafka, who's now the interim coach. Maybe they think that he can be the guy. Maybe they like what he's done with Jackson Dart. So that's the only reason to do it. Otherwise, just because the media is calling for it, and they were like crazy after that game. You blow a 10-point lead with 4 minutes to go. That's the only reason to do it. Otherwise, no, I would not do it.
All right, let's stick with the Giants for just a second. Let me ask you something else. Jackson Dart has been checked for concussions 4 times now in 7 career starts. What do you think that means for the young quarterback?
He's reckless. He needs to be coached up better. Maybe that's why Dable was let go. That could have been a big reason. And he did get a concussion in the game. But I don't understand why they're using him like Tim Tebow, like a fullback / quarterback hybrid. Because he wasn't that in college. Yes, he is athletic, but they should use him more like Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's a great scrambler. Or Patrick Mahomes, they're great scramblers, but they don't take the hits. They slide. They make sure they don't go face first. And Jackson Dart, he's a rookie. He'll have to learn. But, if he gets 2 or 3 concussions in one season, he's going to have to, change the way he plays. So he's just playing a little reckless, and he's a rookie, and he'll learn.
Okay. So here's something interesting. I think this will be right up your alley here. The best record by a quarterback in the NFL in their first 100 career starts.
Okay.
Here we go. It's the best ones. I'll start with number 4 and go to 1. Number 4 is Lamar Jackson, 73-27. Number 3, a blast from the past, Roger Staubach, 76-24. Second, Tom Brady, 76-24. And first, Patrick Mahomes, 78-22. Of those 4 quarterbacks, Mahomes, Brady, Staubach, Jackson, who's your favorite? Who would you start your franchise with?
Roger Staubach. Why not? I wasn't old enough to watch him play like you did. So, yeah. That's a. I don't like this guy that much, obviously, but I would pick of those. I would actually pick Patrick Mahomes because he just can do more things. Lamar Jackson, just more of an injury risk because he does. Part of his game is scrambling so much, and Mahomes can just move great plays with the legs. So I hate to admit it, but I would take Patrick Mahomes. Who would you take? Oh, wait, you tell me after.
Let me tell you after. I don't want to ruin your time here. So let me go with the college football one. I hope you do this, but under a minute left here. UConn quarterback Joe Fagnano, right? I believe it's how you say his name. After his win over Duke on Saturday, now has 25 touchdown passes and 0 interceptions. So, Chiefs, please tell me, why is no one talking about him?
Because he plays for UConn, and nobody cares about UConn football. Even though they just beat Duke, it's a big win for them.
It was.
But I'm going to finish with 2010. That's it. It's UConn. If he was playing at any kind of school, even like a Kentucky or an Arizona or something like that, it would be a big deal. But he's at UConn, and nobody watches UConn.
Wow. Ooh, and seen, he says. All right. So, but I want to do this a second, man. I want to give this kid some respect here real fast, right? Mm-hmm. I don't care where you are. I don't care what division you play in. I don't care who your opponents are. He's not thrown an interception all year, and he has thrown 25 touchdown passes. Mm-hmm. That in itself should be, I'm not saying he needs to be a Heisman candidate or anything, but people at least should be talking about him, right?
Absolutely. In fact, I didn't even know his name until I saw that stat, until it was all over X. I guess you saw it too.
Yes.
And, obviously, like I said, they just beat Duke, which is a big win for them. Duke was, I'm sure, favorite. It was, I think it was at UConn. I'm not sure. I did not watch the game. But yeah, they won 37-34, come from behind win. He threw 3 touchdowns, obviously no picks. But yeah, UConn, they're 7-3. It's not like they're, 2-8 or anything like that. So they have a winning record. They'll go to a bowl game. But yeah, it's pretty impressive. And I think we now know about him. So I think people are going to start talking about him. And you never know. He might get some 4th, 5th Heisman votes. You never know. He keeps it up.
So UConn is another one of those independent schools, right? They're like Notre Dame. Is that correct?
I'm not sure.
I think they are.
I think they are too. Yes, they are. Just Notre Dame and UConn. Now that BYU is in the Big 12, Notre Dame and UConn are the only. They should make that illegal. You can't be independent. They should force Notre Dame into conference, but that's a story for another day.
Right. Well, it kind of leads me into this real quick. I don't want to take a ton of time on this, but again, I want to give this kid Joe Fagnano,
Fagnano,
Fagnano, I believe.
I believe it's
I wrote it really small on my paper.
I believe it's Fagnano, not the other word. Fagnano.
No, is it Fagnano? Not.
It is Fagnano.
It doesn't have a long A. Has a short A.
It's not.
Okay.
It does not.
And we have 69. Never mind. So.
Oh, Mike.
People. Oh, my goodness.
What kind of sponsors is Mike trying to get?
Oh, I have one. You just wait. That's our big announcement today. I know you didn't know this. I don't know how you pulled that out of your butt, but we have a sponsor. We're going to talk about it here in just a moment. I can't wait to tell you about it. It's a fantastic deal, and all of you guys that are with us can get with it as well. So if UConn was a part of even like the Mountain West or the Sun Belt or something like that, wouldn't that get more people talking about him?
I think you really have to be in the Power Four. If they were in the Power Four, even a bad team, I think you talk about. If you're Rutgers, like I said, West Virginia, Kentucky, anyone that just even a bottom team in a big conference, I think they'd be talking about them. But the fact that it's UConn, and I mean, they beat Boston College, they beat Duke, they've beaten 2 ACC schools, they lost to Syracuse, but they do have some teams on the schedule that they blew out that aren't very good. So,
but that's what they're supposed to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams schedule games like that, but
yeah, it's not like they're the only team.
Correct. And which of those 4 quarterbacks would you start?
Oh, you know what? That's great. So let me. I know I kind of rushed through it because I was trying to help you with time. But what it is, it's the best record by a quarterback in NFL history through their first 100 games. So obviously, all 4 of these quarterbacks have now played 100 games. Lamar Jackson in his first 100 was 73-27. Roger Staubach in his first 100 was 76-24. Brady in his first 100 was the same, 76-24. And then Mahomes, 78-22. I did watch Staubach play. Thanks for pointing that out. I don't like I would say the worst one of this group would be Lamar.
He's really good, though. I mean, they're all really, really good.
Lamar is obviously because they've got really good records in their first 100 games, right? So, obviously all of them are good.
2-time MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Yes. Not sure if he deserved it both times, but yes, he does have 2 MVPs. I'm going to take Staubach. I really am. So he could stand in there and take a hit, and he could also run a little bit. It's not like he was running like Lamar Jackson, but he wasn't stoic like Brady was. And I just don't like the other guy. So I'm just going to chuck him off to the side, and I'm going to go with Roger on that one.
I hope we get my ultimate sponsor is Pepperidge Farm, so that when you say people like Roger Staubach, I can be like, Pepperidge Farm remembers. Pepperidge Farm.
Oh, people are going to have to Google that. Not many people are going to know what that reference was for, but that's okay. So we need 3 more people, ladies and gentlemen. Help us out. We need 3 more people to go over to our Twitter poll question and vote. And if we get 3 more, that would be 150 people that would vote on it this time. Let me tell you what that is, and we'll get to it here in just a little bit. It is, which NFL team impressed you the most with their win on Sunday? Was it the Texans, the Patriots, the Seahawks, or the Rams? And I will tell you, as I'm staring at it right now, one team is above everybody else, but the other teams are really, really close. So it'll be interesting how everybody says what about the week here. What are you smiling so big at over there?
Because the one I just looked at the poll. The one I always pick is nowhere near the top. Every time we do a poll, I'm like the last or second to last every time.
Well, maybe that should tell you something, sir. Anyway, let's jump.
I'm going to retweet
this.
I'm going to retweet the polls for anyone. Go to my X account at football cheese. Oh, I lost it. Never mind.
That's all right.
I lost it.
People know where to go to. At All Gloves Off SM. That's where you go, and you can vote on the poll question right now at All Gloves Off SM, which of course stands for sports media. But Cheese,
Yes.
how about we talk some more college football?
Let's do it. And I'm going to retweet it in about 15 seconds. Okay.
All right, buddy. We are going to jump into the college football talk here right away. Texas versus Georgia. That'll be a great game that we'll both watch, I am sure, this weekend. We'll talk about it first. Then we'll go into some quick hits from college football over the weekend. We'll do our winners, our losers, and a game we're looking forward to. And then we're going to talk some LSU. All right, buddy. Texas, Georgia is where we're going to start. I got a few things. I got 2 if Texas wins, and I've got 2 if Georgia wins. That's how we're going to do this segment. So, if Texas wins, do they jump into the top 5?
I don't think so. Because they still have 2 losses. And yeah, the Ohio State loss. Okay, that's a good loss. But the other loss, Florida, that's not a good loss. So
No.
I wouldn't vote for them in the top 5 if they win. I don't think they're going to win.
Oh, he's giving it away already. So I'm with you. I don't think even if they do, unless they blow Georgia out, and I just don't see them blowing Georgia out. For me, they're going to have to beat them by 16, 18 points in order for me to even consider them in the top 5, especially with the other teams that are already in the top 5. Unless, of course, one of them loses. And you never know with the way college football is going right at the moment. One of them could. All right, so the second one, since we did a if Texas wins, let's do a if Georgia loses, do they fall out of the top 10?
SEC schools don't fall in the top 10 when they lose. You know that. SEC schools can play Citadel and move up, and teams that play really hard teams, better teams will fall down. Probably not. They'll probably be 8th or 9th.
Okay. I don't know about this. This would be interesting. Again, I don't think Georgia's going to lose. In fact, honestly, I don't know about what. You know what? We'll save their prediction till the end. But I don't think Georgia's going to lose. They're going to have to lose big in order to fall out of the top 10. Let's just put it that way. So let's go back. If Texas wins, are they considered better than Georgia?
Well, they'll both have 2 losses and they'll beat them.
Mm-hmm.
So probably, but the common opponent was Florida, and Georgia, beat Florida. Texas didn't, but of course, then Texas would have beaten Georgia. So
Right.
I think you have to. It's that's the way the polls work. What have you done for me lately?
Mhm.
So.
And I mean, Texas lost to Ohio State, the number 1 team that's, still there. I got a little worried when Purdue scored first over the weekend, but they showed me their dominance. You
were worried about Purdue?
Now wait a minute. Now I really thought Purdue looked good like the first quarter or so, until Ohio State took over. But
It's Purdue, man.
It's Purdue. I know.
They've been good since they had Drew Brees or Kyle Orton.
Here, okay.
Last time they were significant, it was like Drew Brees or Kyle Orton, the quarterback, and they're both retired from the NFL.
Yes. Let's. Well, but you can listen to Drew Brees now. He's taken over from Mark Sanchez, so you can hear Drew Brees all the time now. So.
Oh, what happened to Mark Sanchez? He was pretty good. I liked him on TV.
I actually liked him on TV, but I guess he couldn't hold his liquor, so he had some other problems.
Best thing for him is he will never be remembered as much for the butt fumble, more for something else. Good
True.
job, Mark.
Good job, Mark. If Georgia and Alabama both win, does Georgia leapfrog Alabama in the top 5?
No, because Alabama beat them at Georgia. They shouldn't. Even though Georgia's loss is much better. Alabama lost to Florida State, which looks terrible now.
Yes.
But still, Alabama head-to-head should always be the first factor. So, no.
Okay. I agree with you, but I just wanted to throw it out there because they're so close in proximity right now in the polls. And if something like this happens, and you even said it earlier, what have you done for me lately seems to be, a big thing with the polls too. So,
Mhm.
all right, let's do some college football. Just some quick hits here. Just, some things that I didn't want to dive into and do deep dives on, which, by the way, let's plug a deep dive that you just did. The Pittsburgh Steelers on your channel. You
Mhm.
did a big dive into them. You released it earlier today. We've
Yes.
talked about this. I'll just do a few things. I'm going to give everything away because I want people to go to it and listen to it. It's about 14 minutes long. It's a great thing for your drive, either to work or from work back home. It's a nice deep dive on them. You talk about who's to blame as far as their 5-4 record. You give a couple of examples, and then you didn't talk about it as much as I was hoping you were going to talk about it. So I'm going to talk about it here for a moment. Kind of being mediocre is the worst thing you can be in sports, and they've been mediocre there for quite some time. So yeah, for those of you who have not got a chance to listen to that yet, go over to what's the website, buddy?
At Football with Cheese, cheese spelled like Cheez It, Cheez. So yeah, just make sure you subscribe. And I am doing a deep dive on 5 or 6 teams this week. That's the theme of the week, middle of the season. And just want to touch on something you mentioned. The reason why it's bad being mediocre, besides just being mediocre, is you don't pick high in the draft either. You're gonna if you pick somewhere between 17 and 21 every year, you're not going to get one of the best players in the draft, and you didn't make the playoffs, or you are one and done. You're just not. If you go 9-8, 8-9 every year, that's the worst thing you can do for your franchise. If you are a good team, you want to make the playoffs. That's good. It helps your franchise. We're a playoff team. And if you're not, to me, I have always believed this, you might as well stink and pick higher in the draft. Get
All
better
right,
play.
I'm sorry, sir, I didn't mean to cut you off, but something I want to add right here. StreamYard did something different today. That's the account that we use. We use StreamYard for this glorious Lights Out Sports podcast right here. And what they decided to do was they're going vertical and horizontal. So if you're watching on your cell phone or something like that, and you want to flip the screen around, tell me if you guys like it or not, because I put on there today that you could see it either way, and I just want. What do you guys like? Do you guys like this change that they did? Should we go back to the old way we've always produced the show? Just let us know either in the comments here, or if you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on Facebook, if you're watching us on X. Those are the 3 platforms that you can see us on. Now, we also are doing Spotify and Apple Music as well. So if you're one of those people like I am, then certainly jump on there. And you can search us by going to All Gloves Off Sports Media. And then, of course, we are the Lights Out Sports Podcast. All right, so just a couple of quick hits. The Wisconsin Badgers announced that they are not only going to keep Luke Fickell for the rest of this season, but also next season. Is that a mistake?
Well, unfortunately, when you're on Packers Twitter a lot, Wisconsin gets in there. So I see the reaction. A lot of Wisconsin fans want him gone. They absolutely want him gone. Wisconsin's just, they're such a tricky university. They had that power running style. Big offensive lineman, really good running back.
Always had that, right?
Always had that.
Mhm.
They have a lot of offensive linemen make the NFL, a lot of running backs, like running back you. Jonathan Taylor having an amazing year this year.
Yes.
Ron Dane, Melvin Gordon. I'm not going to keep going. I could just keep going. But that was great. And they'd win 10, sometimes 11 games every year, but they couldn't beat Ohio State, couldn't beat Michigan, sometimes not Penn State either. They beat all the teams they should, and they can't beat the teams that have more talent than them. And I think that's why they hired Luke Fickell. Let's change it up. Let's try to throw more. Let's try to get a team to beat them. And it's been a disaster. And they can't out-recruit Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. They just can't. Now you have Oregon in there. So I think they want to be patient, give it at least another year, see if he can turn it around. But a lot of Wisconsin fans gone.
Well, now, Wisconsin fans, I'll talk to you for just a moment, right? He's on his, I believe, 4th running back right now and 3rd quarterback. I mean, Ohio State would look terrible if they were on their 3rd quarterback and their 4th running back. I mean, let's be honest, right?
True.
And the second thing here is you're Wisconsin. This is not a knock on you, but it is all at the same time, right? You're not Penn State, a job that's open. You're not LSU, a job that's open. You're not some of these other teams that are above you. So even if you let Luke Fickell go, you're going to get the fifth or sixth best coach out there because you're not going to pay them a crap ton of money to come to Wisconsin. So I think, to me, that's really the main reason why you stick with Luke Fickell, because you're not going to get anybody better than him anyway in this coaching cycle. What do you think about that, Chase?
I think so too, and they might even get the fifth or sixth best because they're not having a good season.
Right.
They might not be in a good spot. A lot of people might not want that job. They did. I think they just got their first win in the Big Ten this year. They're 3-6 this past week, so they did get a win. So there's some positive, but they're not going to win this week. No chance. But I'm okay with giving him another year, but obviously he'll have to do much better.
All right. Let's move on to the second of three here with our college football quick hits. Should Texas A&M be ranked ahead of Indiana? This is a big debate that I saw a lot on social media this weekend. I did it with a few of my people at work. What do you think? Texas A&M ahead of Indiana or not?
Well, 2 weeks ago, you had said absolutely not.
Correct.
Absolutely not. Texas A&M was coming off barely beating Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana was beating Oregon at Oregon. But Texas A&M's looked really good the last 2 weeks. They blew out LSU.
Yes.
They blew out, oh, God, why am I blanking? Missouri. Both on the road. Indiana won a close game against Penn State. But you know what? Penn State, yes, they're not a good team, but they're underachieving. They have more talent than that. So them winning a close game as Penn State, to me, you shouldn't just knock Indiana down because of that. That's still not an easy game, despite Penn State struggles, because they do have a lot of pro talent on them. So I would still say Indiana should be higher than A&M. Whole body of work. What about you?
Okay. Well, but this is the problem with any kind of a franchise that's all of a sudden winning. I'll give you the one that I think compares to it in the NFL, and it's the Buffalo Bills, right? So all of a sudden they're winning, and now we just expect them to win. All of a sudden Indiana's winning, so now it's like, oh, well, Indiana should beat Penn State by 14, 18, 20 points, right? And then when you look at the score, probably most of us didn't even watch the game, and I'll be honest, I didn't watch the game.
I did.
Did you?
I did watch it. Yeah.
You have that time, sir.
I have two TVs too, so I can put on two games at once.
That's true too. I have a wife, and she restricts my TV time. But anyway. Oh, okay. I love you.
And you have to get the View in. You have to make sure you watch the View.
Right. I love Whoopi. So.
No one's ever said that before.
No, probably not. Not even her. I'm banking AI is going to chop this up, and this will be our short for the week. But
God remembers.
This is the pressure that comes with this, though, right? All of a sudden, you're winning. Everybody expects you to win, and not just winning. Everybody expects you to blow out a bunch of stuff, right?
So, they expect Indiana to win big, and I got to give Penn State. Penn State played pretty well. They fought hard, but Indiana just hit too much from them in the end. But it's still win. It still counts just the same.
See, I'm not sure if it still counts just the same.
Well, in the win-loss column.
In the win-loss column, okay, but not as far as like strength of schedule, and not as far as the eye test. I mean, you're the eye test guy. You say it all the time, right? We're getting ready to do a top 10 here in just a little bit, right? We are, for those of you who didn't see the tweet, we are going to do the lights out list here in just a little bit, and it's going to be the top 10 NFL MVPs right now. So that's what we're going to do here in just a little bit. That's how we'll close out the show. So, yeah, I agree with you. Now let's look at our third thing here for our college football quick hits, which is, we got to talk about at least a little bit. What'd you think of the fake USC punt?
Are you referring to they switched the jersey number of the backup quarterback?
Yes.
So those of you who don't know, the backup quarterback switched to the jersey number of the punter. You can have the same number of a teammate as long as you're not on the field at the same time. A lot of teams will have like their number 5 is the quarterback on offense and he's the middle linebacker on defense. You can do that. They just can't be on the field at the same time. So they did that to trick their opponent I don't know.
Northwestern.
Northwestern. And
Why did they
And-
waste it on Northwestern?
and they used a fake punt. He threw the ball, and the broadcasters fell for it. They're saying this punter, wow, what a throw, And so I don't have a problem with it. I think it's strategy. I thought it was kind of cool. My first reaction, that was kind of cool. I don't know why it would be a penalty. I get why, if you're Northwestern, I get you'd be irritated about it because it looks like the punter. It was like they purposely did it to mislead for that play. So maybe if you change a jersey number, you have to let the other team know. Maybe that should be a rule. An hour and a half before the game.
Did.
You do. And they did. Oh.
Yes. So all right. So let's go through some more of the rules because I had to look all this up, right? I wanted to make sure when we were doing this. So they have to give it to them. Each team has to exchange lineups 24 hours in advance of the game. And when they do, and it's like you said, you were 100% right. You said it as they can't be on the field at the same time. The actual rule is you can have let's say a 35 on offense, and you can have a 35 on defense. And then actually you can have a 35 on special teams if you want, as long as you exchange those, the lineups and the numbers and the names of everybody 24 hours in advance. And even the broadcasters get it. So yeah,
the broadcasters didn't know.
Yeah.
So why would they say it should have been a penalty then?
I don't know why the Big Ten did, and I'm sure you've read through the notes, but the Big Ten did come out and say that it should have been a penalty, and they should have received a 15-yard penalty on the next play on offense.
For what?
I don't know. I don't understand it. I tried
to
declare
it's not the punter. I thought it was good strategy personally. If you
declared 24 hours ago,
if they turned it in, then good for USC.
And they did.
It was a good move.
Even in the press conference afterward, Northwestern admitted that they turned it in.
Okay. Then the good strategy then, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You agree,
now,
right?
They'll never be able to do it again.
They'll look for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone that plays USC now will look at that thing and say, okay, yeah. In fact, everyone now, after what happened, might try this. And so every team should be looking out for this now.
Right. And basically, I don't know if you saw the press conferences afterward, Lincoln Riley was talking about it because they point blank asked him about it, basically asking or telling him, why did you waste this on Northwestern? He didn't come right out and say it because he didn't want to insult Northwestern, but he basically said, we weren't sure if they would have the same amount of people looking at everything like an Oregon or one of these teams when they play Oregon final game of the season, by the way. So basically, he was trying to see if it would work. That's kind of what I got off of the press conference from him is, hey, we were trying to see if it would actually work.
Yeah, and they won by 21. And they won by 21. They were expected to win by a lot. But, yeah, I mean, I would have probably tried it in a different game. Maybe Iowa or Oregon or Iowa, yeah. But, hey, it worked. Good move.
All right, so let's do our winners and losers and the games we're looking most forward to. I let you go last week, so I'm going to go this week, and I'm going to start off with the biggest loser. There are 2 or 3 of these, so we probably aren't going to pick the same team. I don't think, but for me, it's Virginia. Virginia had a road that would possibly go to to the final 12 teams, and they blew it. So when you blow something like that with a loss, that's got to be right up there with one of the biggest losers of the weekend. So that's why I put Virginia up there as being the biggest loser. What about you, Cheese?
I didn't put Virginia because some other people lost. Someone lost. Who's my biggest loser is Louisville.
Yeah.
Louisville was in great shape. They only had one loss, and it was to Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
But they lost at home to Cal in overtime. They're now 0-2 at overtime. 0-2 at home. They're 7-2 overall. They've lost 2 overtime games and 2 home games. And somehow in the AP poll, they're ranked ahead of Virginia. Virginia beat them at Louisville. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
But Virginia's still, right now, they would play for the ACC title game right now. And if they win that, they're in the playoff.
That's true, I guess. I didn't think of it that way.
So, at large, he is gone. At large is definitely gone after that.
Gone.
Oh, it was awful. They played terrible. I was watching that game. They played. Now, their quarterback got knocked out. But even so, they still should have won. They played awful. But the big game for them, they're at Duke this week. So that's obviously a must win for them. So yeah, but Louisville, they had such an opportunity with Virginia losing, and they absolutely blew it. And now they're behind Pitt. They're behind. Oh, let's see. They're in 6th place now. No, fifth place in the SEC. No, I lost it. Oh, that's overall record. I can't find ACC record, but anyway, they're 5th or 6th.
Something like that, right?
They have 2 conference losses now, so that pretty much takes them out of the ACC championship. Because Georgia Tech, I don't think they have a conference loss. Yeah, no, they're 5-1. Georgia Tech is 5-1. So is Virginia, Pitt, and SMU. And according to this, Duke's 4-1. According to this, Georgia Tech would play Virginia if this season ended today.
Okay. So I had Virginia, and you had Louisville.
Louisville.
Depending on where you live is how you pronounce it. So, oh man. All right. So I didn't think my winner was very hard this week. I was trying to find a team that might actually win more, but I pretty much knew it right away. Even though I have to say their quarterback did not do well. Oregon beating Iowa, and Oregon basically separating themselves from that middle of the pack of the Big Ten with this win. But Moore, who everybody has got on their Heisman watch, which we will do next week, by the way. We'll do another Heisman watch next week. He 13 completions out of 21 attempts for 112 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. I watched part of that game. I wasn't real impressed. That was really my first time watching more like in that situation where I thought that they had a chance to get beat, and he just didn't impress me. So next week I think we'll see, at least for me maybe, Mr. Moore. I don't even know if he's going to be in my top 5 as far as Heisman trophies candidacy. So we'll look at that again next week.
The weather wasn't great, and they almost lost. They had to get a game-winning field goal at the end. They have a good kicker. Thank God for them. They have a really good kicker.
Yeah, 3 seconds left.
But the conditions weren't great, but I get what you're saying. But they did win.
Right.
Yeah.
Who was your biggest winner of last week, sir?
It's got to be Texas Tech. They were playing BYU, who's undefeated. It was at home, but they whooped them.
Yeah.
In fact, it was 29-7, but they kept kicking field goals. And they went for a 4th down right before halftime, didn't get it. I mean, they could have had so many more points, completely dominated the game. Mm-hmm. And ever since that loss to Arizona State, where they laid a brick, let's be honest, they did. They played terrible. Good job, Arizona State. But they have been amazing since that loss. It woke them up a little bit. And, okay. They're in the driver's seat. They're
Forks up.
Forks up. There's still 3 teams with only 1 loss in the Big 12, but obviously BYU, they own the tiebreak with them, and Cincinnati's the other team with 1 loss. But their last 2 games are UCF and West Virginia. They will win both of those probably going away. So, yeah, Texas Tech to me, big win. Not only won, but they dominated BYU, and now they're ranked 6th in the AP poll.
Yeah, and you can pretty much no more pencil. I think pin. We can put Texas 10 and pin in the Big 12 title game, right?
Oh, they'll be in it. And then it'll be either BYU or Cincinnati. Probably. You never know. It'd be funny if like 5 teams have 2 losses. I don't know how the tie breaks will work. So, yeah, I guess there's some teams still in it. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure BYU's schedule, Cincinnati's schedule, but up right now. I'm curious. Let's just see.
Yeah, go ahead.
BYU has, let's say 3 games. Texas Tech only has 2. Okay. They're TCU at home, at Cincinnati. Okay, that's the big game.
Yeah,
2 weeks, sure BYU at Cincinnati. That will determine probably the winner of that will probably be the other team. And then they have Central Florida at home. And then Cincinnati, obviously we know one of their games.
Mm-hmm.
They're Arizona at home, BYU at home, at TCU. So, yeah, that's the – and then Houston has 2 losses, Utah has 2 losses, and Arizona State has 2 losses, still alive.
Yes, I mean, I know I say this pretty much every week, but I'm really into the Big 12. I really like that conference this year. Big 12, Big 10 for me. I know the SEC is good too, and I'm not trying to say they're not good, but I'm a little I want somebody else, right? Give me a Big Ten or a Big 12 school. I'm watching that more smash mouth, almost Wisconsin style of football, right? When we talked about it earlier. All right, so the game that we're looking most forward to this week, I'll take it first. I am really looking forward to this game a lot. I think this will be a game to where it'll be overshadowed by probably the game that you're going to pick, and I don't blame you for picking it. But I want to see Iowa USC. Iowa 6-3, USC 7-2. USC is ranked 17th. Iowa is ranked 21st. Iowa just come off the loss that we talked about earlier to Oregon, and they almost beat them, as you said earlier. So it's not like Iowa is a terrible team, but now they have to go to USC. It can really become a mess if Iowa can somehow beat USC. I'm going to get the Big Ten standings here in just a second. Let me figure out how to do that. Okay, here we go. So Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, USC, and Iowa. So, that's the way it falls. So in conference, you got Indiana that's 7-0. You got the Buckeyes that are 6-0. You got Oregon at 5-1, Michigan at 5-1, USC at 5-1, and Iowa at 4-2. So if Iowa can beat USC, that would make both of those teams 4-2. And again, you would have those top four teams: Michigan, Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana kind of pull away from the pack there. So it's an interesting game, and I can't wait to watch it. What's your game, buddy?
And Iowa really need to beat Oregon. If they beat Oregon, they'd still be alive in the playoff. Mm-hmm. And we've said this many times on the pod. Yeah, not the lights out, the pod. Everyone just calls it the pod now. But we said this many times. The committee last year did not let Big Ten or SEC schools with 3 losses in the playoff. So Iowa has 3 losses now. Not going to this year. So USC must win. And they still have to play Oregon and UCLA, but they'll beat UCLA. But they have to win this game to stay alive for the playoff. This isn't my game, but South Florida Navy elimination game. Both of them are still live as that non-Power 4 team. That's a really important game.
Yep.
South Florida is at Navy, but favored by over 10. Interesting. Now, game days at Notre Dame Pitt, which is ridiculous. I get it. They haven't been to Pitt in forever, and they've already been to Tuscaloosa and to Athens this year. But you mentioned one earlier. You mentioned Texas, Georgia, but also Oklahoma, Alabama. Those 2 games, Oklahoma has 2 losses. They have to win Alabama to make the playoff. And Texas has 2 losses. They have to win at Georgia. I don't think either one gets it done, but that's their only chance. And if they do, then they have a pretty good shot. It's a big win to get in the playoff. They have to win out, obviously, but they have to win. So those games are absolutely huge. So, once again, Oklahoma is at Alabama, 11 versus 4, and Texas number 10 at Georgia number 5.
Texas number 10. Okay.
I know. They beat Sam Houston State.
Whew. But I think this week is one of those weeks that sets up the next 2, right? You talked about it. If USC wins, and it sets up the big game between them and Oregon. And some of these other games this week kind of set up wins. It's kind of building, right? This is step 1, and then we get to go to 2 and 3 before the season's out. So
just notice something real quick. Just notice something. BYU is hosting TCU. It's that night game that starts at 10:15 Eastern. So I'm one of the few people. I love that night game because I can stay up and watch it.
Me too.
But BYU is only favored by 4.5 at home. So Vegas,
TCU.
To TCU, who's 6-3, 3-3 in the Big 12. So Vegas is buying that BYU is maybe not that good after their loss to Texas Tech. So, that's a game BYU absolutely needs, considering they're at Cincinnati next week.
Right, and I'll tell you something else that Vegas doesn't seem to be buying that I think you're buying a little bit more, and you can listen to it over on his YouTube channel. I'm sure he'll plug it at least 10, 12 more times before we're done here tonight. But Vegas really seems, I mean, they loved Pittsburgh, and now all of a sudden they like Baltimore. And as you said, not only do they like Baltimore, but they got Cincinnati in the second spot and then the Steelers in the third spot. So, first of all, let me prove to you that I actually listened to your channel first. And then secondly, we'll talk about the Cincinnati Bengals here in just a little bit and where they're going to be with Joe Burrow coming back and when's that going to happen and everything else. That'll be in our NFL segment here in just a little bit. So let's do our last one here for our college football spread offense. At 5-4 right now and having to play Arkansas, Western Kentucky, and Oklahoma, will LSU become bowl eligible?
Yeah, they will. But you know what? I don't think their fans care. Bowls are pretty much meaningless now. There's 12 teams in the playoff. Like bowls, yeah, some teams that maybe never make a bowl, they get in. That's a big deal. But LSU fans, they don't care about a bowl. They want to get in the playoff every year. So I think they will, but it's not really a big deal for their fans. Trust me.
So would you rather get into the college football playoff and lose in the first round, or would you rather go to a bigger bowl and win?
No, you got to make the college football playoff. Getting in the college football playoff now. Yes, that's what all the attention's on. I watched maybe half the bowl games, even part of them last year. And the only reason I watched them was to watch a certain prospect that was in the game. A lot of prospects now sit out bowl games. Cam Ward, the first overall pick, he quit at halftime once he broke a record on his team, and then his team blew the game. If he had stayed in, they would have won. So bowl games just are so meaningless now. All these people sitting out, that was unimaginable 20 years ago. You sat out of the bowl game, that could hurt your draft stock. Nowadays it's just common. So yeah, that was one of the bowl games I did watch from start to finish. That was a really fun game. But
I want to do a bowl game with you, at least one. I like to do more than one actually, because they spread them out so much now. But really love to do that, and we'll do some prospect watching, especially with you and how you do that on your channel. So that'll be something that we'll look forward to here in the upcoming weeks. So the last time this happened for LSU was 1999. What I'm talking about is they were not. That's the last time they weren't bowl eligible. Now 2020, I believe they didn't do the bowl because they did a self-imposed thing. Where they didn't go to a bowl game, but 99 would be the last time that they were not bowl eligible. And that, of course, was the last time for another head coach at LSU. That was his final year there, too. So is this significant to them, or do you really just think their fans just don't care? That's what you said a minute ago. Do you really think that?
They don't care about the bowl game, but their fans are nuts. They're crazy. If you've ever met any of them, they think they should always beat Alabama, always beat Ole Miss, always beat Florida, always in the SEC title game every year, no matter what. Every year. There's no in between. You cannot lose to Alabama. You cannot lose to Ole Miss. You cannot lose to Florida, and you have to be in the SEC title game, period. They're nuts.
Yeah, but they're not making any of those things you just rattled off.
No.
So what is the average LSU fan doing right now then? Are they still watching that team, or are they just cutting their grass on Sunday or Saturday?
They're hoping Tyler Shuck is the franchise quarterback for the Saints. I don't know, but they're not. They're probably. I don't know if they're watching or not, but I'm sure they're still watching. But they're not happy, and they want a big hire. They want to get like the biggest hire, and they think we're LSU. We should get it, but it's tough with the SEC adding Texas and Oklahoma. It's just so tough to win 10, 11 games every year like they're expected to every year, no matter what. 9-3 is not acceptable, and they already have 4 losses this year.
Yeah, and they may get another one because they got to play Oklahoma at the end. So
might lose to Arkansas.
Well, that's true too. Arkansas is not a bad team. Don't look at their record. They're not a bad team.
They can score. They can't stop anything, but they can score.
Yeah. All right, buddy. So last thing here on LSU, and then we'll jump into our Major League Baseball talk. What will the consequences be if LSU does not become bowl eligible this year? I mean, is the state of Louisiana, the swamp going to dry up? I mean, what's going to happen down there?
It won't be good, but at the same time, if they're not bowl eligible, they lost to Western Kentucky, so it'll be bad. It'll be really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, those, like I said, their fans just expect you don't lose, and so I'm sure that they are already livid.
All right, bud. It is time to jump over to our MLB talk. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do it now.
Okay. The ball with the fire.
You ready?
Yes, I wish people would stop texting me. Have you started the podcast yet? These are my friends.
You're such a popular guy.
I guess it used to start this time. The time changed,
Yeah, well, the time change messed with everybody's head. That's what it is. All right, sir, here we go. We're going to look at Rookie of the Year. We're going to look at the highest paid players. I saw, I was looking on my Twitter account a second ago. The Cleveland Guardians manager got AL Manager of the Year. I'm not sure who got NL Manager of the Year, but that's the award they handed out today. We'll look at the betting scandal with Jorge and Luis Ortiz. And then a feature that we're going to do every week as we in the MLB segment here of MLB 4-Pitch Talk, it will be the five top free agents at every position. And we are going to look at each one of those and decide what kind of contract they're going to get and where they're going to go. So that's what we'll do as we close everything out. All right. Rookie of the Year in MLB, sir. I know you weren't very happy about this. But of course, the Braves catcher Drake Baldwin beat out Cade Horton. I see you tapping your fingers over there. Are you? Is this gonna do a Green Bay Packer explosion here?
No, I just have a lot to say, and it's more so about the consequences of winning rookie or getting second. This new rule, this prospect promotion incentive. I have a lot to say about that, but
okay. So go ahead. Let's start there then. So Rookie of the Year in MLB, of course, this year it did go to Drake Baldwin. I can give you a bunch of the stats. I've got a bunch of stuff written down over here. Cade Horton got second. Even his second place finish in Rookie of the Year got him $500,000 in an award bonus. And he gets bumped to 1 year of service time. And I'm thinking that's what you're upset about right now. So why, Cheese is a Cubs fan and a Braves fan, so he's got to be a little torn about this one, right? Sure. Which is why I wanted to make sure we talk about this. But is that what you're upset about? That the fact that Cade Horton gets the full year of service time?
Yes, and then the Cubs get nothing back. Drake Baldwin does as well. Basically, what happened was Rob Manfred tries to come up with these dumb rules to try to make it more competitive for teams that spend a lot and don't spend a lot. Rather than fix the problem, have some kind of thing like the NBA does, have bigger penalties, have max contracts, instead of fixing the problem, which they need to in the next CBA, collective bargaining agreement. He comes up with these dumb rules, and I absolutely despise this one. Before I tell you who I think should have won and why, it's called the prospect promotion incentive. Basically, they're trying to get teams to call up their best prospects early from the start of the season. Start the season, the prospects, right? Because teams would wait till they got a year service time and then bring them up. Well, they should just change that rule anyway. But so now they want you, if you have a top 100 prospect and they start the season and they win Rookie of the Year, all that happens, you get an extra draft pick. The Braves just got a draft pick, which I love. I love that they got that draft pick.
And it's right after the first round, too. It's not like it's a fourth or fifth round. It's after round one.
And it's not just a draft pick. You get bonus money. That's the big thing, the bonus
International bonus money, yes.
Well, just the pick bonus money. So you can use that money to, give a player later or earlier, like over slot. So it's just the bonus money too. It's not just the pick. So it's very valuable. And Drake Baldwin becomes a free agent year before. Now, Cade Horton gets second place. For some reason, first and second place get a year of service time, not just first, whatever that means. So now the Cubs get nothing. They don't get a pick. So they don't win. They lose a year of service time. So Cade Horton becomes a free agent year earlier, and they don't get a pick back. So I have so many problems with this. I'm going to go through this real quick. It happened to the Pirates last year. I'm not just being a Cubs homer here. I'm a Braves fan too. It happened to the Pittsburgh Pirates. They lost a year. Paul Skeens, one of the best players, maybe the best pitcher in baseball. The Pirates now lost a whole year's service time because he won Rookie of the Year. They did not get a pick back because just like Cade Horton, they didn't start the year. They came up later. The Cubs didn't start the year with Cade Horton because they wanted to gain a year's service time. They did it because they didn't need him. They waited. And the Pirates obviously thought Paul Skeens wasn't ready. So the Pirates and Cubs both get screwed with this rule, and they don't get a pick back. I'm fine with it, service time, but if you lose the service time, that team all teams should get a pick back. And here's one more problem I have with this rule. It only counts for top 100 prospects. How is that fair? So you're a Diamondbacks fan. Let's just say the 11th best prospect in the Diamondbacks organization, right?
Okay.
Diamondbacks have an injury. Maybe an outfielder's out for the year. So that AAA outfielder starts the season as their outfielder and just has an amazing year, wins Rookie of the Year. They don't get a pick back because he was not a consensus top 100 prospect. So basically they're saying if you have only the pick back, I just hate this rule. And I just don't like the second place in Rookie of the Year gets an extra service time, but third place doesn't. It just, I could go off, but that's the gist of it.
Okay,
And
but your Cubs did this to themselves, right? You know that, right?
How so?
This is the Chris Bryant rule. Chris Bryant and the Chicago Cubs made this rule in the first place. Remember when they were trying to manipulate service time and they didn't bring him up and they waited till they waited till the day after, right? Now, come on, I know you remember this.
I remember it. Guess what? Their third baseman got hurt the day before. They literally put him on the injured list the day before. If he had not gotten hurt, they probably would have waited to call him up. It just so happened he got hurt. I remember it was April 17th. On April 16th, I remember that third baseman. I will not forget that day. That third baseman, I can't remember his name. He was a Dominican Venezuelan player. He was basically a utility player. And they signed him just to play third base till Chris Bryant was ready. He gets hurt, and they had to call Chris Bryant up. And to be honest, Chris Bryant wasn't quite ready. He hit homer for like 20 games. He probably need a little more minor league time. So,
no, your microphone's going a little. I know it's going in and out or something. That's why I was doing that.
Yeah, okay. Good. Is it better now?
Yeah.
But yeah, so they called him up because of an injury. So a lot of people probably don't know that. They just remember he called him up the day thing, and obviously Scott Boras was his agent, so he filed a complaint and lost because it was within the rules. But why is April 17th? Why not to start the year? It's really dumb rule.
Yeah, so that's why they did this, right? So I'll give you the facts here. So Horton earned 142 days of service time because of when the Cubs called him up. To get a full season, you have to earn 172. So 30 days off, right? This is you're right. It's the service time manipulation rule is what other people also call this. That it keeps the teams from keeping a prospect down so that they can have him play the majority of the season, but yet not get him to the 172 days, and they lose a year of control over him.
Well, think about this. I just thought of another scenario. What if your team is not contending and it's in June, and what if you call up your best prospect and he finishes second in Rookie of the Year and you lose service time? So it might incentivize bad teams to wait until September to call them up. Because if we call them up now and they finish second, just like Cade Horton, we can't afford. Look what the Pirates, they lost Paul Skeens. He's a free agent here earlier. And he has tremendous trade value. I mean, he might have the most trade value of any player in baseball right now. But he has less. They have less leverage because of that extra year. Now they lost. I'm not just being a homer saying the Cubs. It does suck, but both those teams should have gotten a pick back, in my opinion. If you're going to give a service time, the team needs to get some incentive back. So I'm really happy the Braves did get the extra pick. If Cade Horton had run Rookie of the Year and Drake Baldwin finished second, the Braves would not have gotten a pick. So in a way, I am happy how it turned out because it does help the Braves absolutely. And I know what your next question is going to be.
So, well, I'm going to throw something out here for a minute. So how far down the Rookie of the Year winners would you go to give an extra pick?
Well, first of all, I shouldn't do it anyway. You should never try to reward people. it's basically a bribe. Please call your prospects up. Please call them up.
Bribe?
It's a bribe. It's a stupid rule. It's a really stupid rule. But what was your question again?
Well, okay, wait a minute. It's not a bribe. All right. If you've got a kid in your minor league system and they're ready to come up, you should promote them, and then they win Rookie of the Year. How is that a bribe?
Because they want them to call up to start the season. They want you to start the season with them. So they're trying to get teams to play their young guys right away for the whole season. And they're saying, if he wins Rookie of the Year, you're going to get a pick. If they're a top 100 prospect. They're trying to get teams to do that and not wait, a month or two into the season. That's what they want. They want the young stars, young top 100 prospects out there from the get-go. But sometimes they're not ready.
But that's what we want to see.
But some of these teams really need that. They're doing what's best for the team. They want to control these players a year longer, so they're going to wait to call them up. They have every right to do that.
They do have every right to do that, and I'll agree with you there. But don't we want to see Paul Skeens? I mean, you said that the Pirates didn't think Paul Skeens was ready. Obviously, they were wrong. Or they knew he was ready, and they were just trying to manipulate the service time, right? And
they had to know he would.
They
had to know he might win Rookie of the Year. They were top 2. They had to know.
They had to, yeah.
I don't think they. I think they would have put him out right away if they thought he was 100% ready. Look, with Jason Hayward, going back when he was a Brave, they started him. They lost a year of service time. They put him right away. They needed a right fielder.
Mm-hmm.
They could have kept him in for 2 weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks. They could have kept him under. And when they did trade him to the Cardinals with 1 year left, those people don't remember he played a year for the Cardinals.
Yep.
They didn't get a lot.
Bad year, but he did play a year for the Cardinals.
No, actually, he was pretty. He had a good year for the Cardinals. That's why he got the big contract with the Cubs. Yeah, he had a bad year the year before with the Braves, but they lost a lot of leverage in that trade. They didn't get a ton for him because if he had 2 years left of service time, they would have gotten a lot more for him. So, he played 1 year with the Cardinals, had a good year, signed with the Cubs, helped them win a World Series, and then just did nothing after that. Still like him though, because they won a World Series with him.
Right. Okay. All right. So would you have voted for Cade Horton instead of Drake Baldwin?
I would have. I watched both play a ton. I had MLB.TV. Drake Baldwin, he DH'd a lot because Sean Murphy was a catcher. I'll say this. He was put in a lot of favorable matchups too. Because they had Sean Murphy. So I think a lot of voters don't actually watch the games. If you watched the games, they just look at stats. They looked at overall season stats. If you watch the games, you watch the second half, Cade Horton was as dominant as any pitcher in baseball in the second half of the year. Absolutely dominant. He was incredible down the
stretch, right? Okay, you
stretch.
Froze up.
His Baldwin stat.
Hang on, let me see if it's this. Let me take that back off. Nope. Okay, no problem. I'll hang on for a minute. So personally, I would not have voted for Cade Horton. I would have voted for Drake Baldwin as well. You froze up there, so I just kind of took off. All right.
Okay.
So
can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. You're good now. The stats on Horton. So his K percentage is 20.4%, which is below average. I know you like yourself a lot. And you even said this about your Cubs 2 or 3 times on this very show. They don't have enough pitchers that can strike out enough hitters. And Horton falls into that category, right? Only 20.4 strikeout percentage. His walk rate was average, 6.9% as far as the walk rate goes. So was his ground ball average at 42.3%. All of those things were just honestly average. And his 258 average on balls in play and his 78.3% strand rate. I know I'm jumping into some stats that maybe some people don't know a whole lot about, but those kind of things, honestly, are just kind of average. They're not eye-popping. And I thought that the Braves catcher had better stats. He had a better batting average. He had, I believe, 19 home runs. So I would have gone with Baldwin as well. Why would you have gone with Horton?
Because those stats that you said, like I said, I think a lot of people didn't watch the games. I watched the games. The second half, those stats were way better. He didn't really have the best first half, but he came on and he was dominant. And I thought he had it. I thought it might even be unanimous. And then I heard the day before that Baldwin, they took some polls, Baldwin likely to win it. I think a lot of the voters didn't watch the games. Baldwin was great. Don't get me wrong. I love that he won because it helps the Braves, gives them a draft pick. The Cubs wouldn't have gotten a draft pick out of it. So it's going to help the Braves. So I am happy about that. I just think I watched both eye test. Cade Horton in the second half was dominant. He was 0-1 runs almost every start in the second half. One of the best pitchers in baseball. And Baldwin was good. He was. But I just watching them both, Cade Horton to me deserved Rookie of the Year. And this goes back to when Michael Harris won it over Spencer Strider, both on the Braves. I watched them both. I watched 130 Braves games that year. Spencer Strider should have won it. Absolutely should have won it. Michael Harris got it. And I completely disagree with that. So maybe the hitter just gets it over the pitcher. I don't know. But I just think Cade Horton should have gotten it. But I am happy Baldwin won it, though, for the draft pick.
In my book, that's right. Because, I mean, you want me, so now all of a sudden you want me to give Rookie of the Year to a pitcher who had half a season that was really good, and he was involved in things every fifth day for half a season.
He was dominant. He was absolutely dominant in the second half.
Okay, for like what? He got 11 wins. He got 11 wins overall.
But wins are not a good baseball stat. It's a terrible stat for a pitcher.
I don't know if you know this or not, but you either win or lose, sir.
No, not like actual wins. Like a pitcher can go 7 shutout innings, not win the game. A pitcher can give up 6 runs and still get the win if they go 5 innings. The actual wins and losses, to me, is not a great stat for pitching. But Cade Horton was just dominant down the stretch. His slider was unhittable. He was just killing it. And just the eye test, like the 2 managers of the year, okay? Pat Murphy and Stephen Vogt. Their teams did not get off to a good start the first 6 weeks, first 2 months, but they finished strong and they won the awards. But I just watching those 2 players, Drake Baldwin was very good. I never thought he was like this great. God, he had this great season. And watching Cade Horton second half, and he did. And I just think he should have won.
Okay. I mean, we'll agree to disagree. So I want to do this. You mentioned it a little bit when you talked about the whole Strider and Harris comparison. Here's what I want to do for you. Here are the last 10 Rookies of the Year. And I want to say this before I give the list. Most of these guys are almost insignificant. They did a really good job for 1 year. They were a good rookie, and then they've really had average MLB careers, which is honestly what I think Cade Horton is going to do. No, not a knock on him. I mean, he can be a number 3 starter, but I don't think he's ever going to be a 2 or a 1, right?
I disagree. Agree to disagree.
Okay, that's fine. We'll see what happens as everything plays out. This will be interesting to keep track of for the next few years while we do the Lights Out Sports podcast together. So if you go back to 2015, the guy who started this whole kind of conversation here, Chris Bryant won. Then Corey Seager in 16. In 17, Cody Bellinger. In 18, Ronald Acuna Jr., another Brave.
That's a good list.
Yes, so far. In 19, Pete Alonso. In 20, Devin Williams. In 2021, Jonathan India. In 2022, Michael Harris II. In 23, Corbin Carroll. And in 24th, you had Paul Skeens. I said something about trivia earlier. The Braves, you ready for this? Let's see how many of these you can get.
Okay.
The Braves have had 5 Rookies of the Year since 2000. I gave you some of them. I was supposed to read this question before I read the other question. Since 2000, they have had 5. Can you give me? You should at least be able to give me 3 of them because I just told you 3 of them.
Yeah, my dad's gonna be disappointed if I don't get them all. Obviously, yeah.
I can't wait to talk to him.
Drake Baldwin, Michael Harris, and Ronald Acuna Jr. since 2000. You know who didn't win Rookie of the Year? Chipper Jones. That's absolutely ridiculous over Deo Nomo. Still mad about that. I was a little kid at the time. Still remember that.
True.
Since 2000. Oh my gosh.
A pitcher in 2011. Here, hang on.
Okay, that's a hint.
I'll give you I have to back off the screen for a second. That doesn't help you at all.
Kimbrel. Craig Kimbrel.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Craig Kimbrel. All right. Let me see. And the last one.
Outfielder in the year 2000.
Oh, Andrew Jones?
No,
not Andrew Jones.
Played with him though.
Oh my God, I'm blanking.
His initials are R and F.
Not Rafael Furcal.
It is Rafael Furcal.
Well, he's a
That is
shortstop.
correct.
He's a shortstop.
Oh, that's right. He wasn't an outfielder.
I would not have thought of him. I would have thought of Kimbrel. Probably. I would not have thought of Furcal. I would not have thought of him, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, you did good on your trivia today, though. I threw that in there just to see what we could do here. So,
Got some hints.
yeah, nice job, buddy. All right, the highest paid player at every MLB position. And the question here that I want to ask you as we go through and name each one, were they the best at that position? In other words, did the team that signed them do a good job of signing this guy to the highest paid contract? So let's start with the starting pitcher.
Okay.
$42 million last year, Zach Wheeler.
Just about everyone on this list is not the best at their position, but you know.
I know, that's why I did it.
Well, a lot of young players, they haven't hit their second contract yet, but that one on the list is Zach Wheeler's really good. Zach Wheeler's really good. So that one is more justified than a lot of people on this list.
Okay. Josh Hader, $19 million. Was he the best relief pitcher last year?
No. I think he had an up and down year for the Astros.
He was injured.
He was injured. Okay.
Catcher, you should know this guy. Sean Murphy, $15 million as in the catcher spot.
You know what's funny of this list? By far the lowest paid position
is catcher.
Is catcher. And I think because framing is so important, a lot of really good hitting catchers are DHing or playing first base. They're switching in positions because it's just, and Murphy's so good defensively, so good framing, throwing out runners. So yeah, I get it. I was just so surprised that he is the highest paid catcher. God, it's just such
he was the highest paid catcher, and then the guy who split time with him won Rookie of the Year. So I don't know. What does that tell you?
Well, that tells me they have their DH for next year.
That's true. That's true. At first base, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he made $40.21 million this year.
He's a stud. He's one of the best hitters in baseball.
Absolute
stud. You saw the playoffs. He was so good. It's a shame Blue Jays didn't win. He would have won MVP. Yeah.
He almost won MVP and they lost. I mean, some people had to consider him as well as he hit.
They were so close.
$33 million second baseman who didn't even play second base all year this year. He played some in left field. People are really going to boo right now. I'll listen to you all. Jose Altuve.
Yeah, he's still really good. He's not as good as he used to be, but he's still really good. I think he played left field for the Astros. But no, he's not this best second baseman.
No, I wouldn't even put him in a top 10, to be honest with you. I was looking at the other second baseman, and no. How about shortstop?
He's not better than Marte?
Shortstop, Francisco Lindor, making $32.47 million.
He's very good. I don't know if he's the best shortstop. No, probably not, but he's very good. He's still good defensively. So I get that one.
Okay. How about this one? I love this one. This has got to be one of the worst ones ever. Third base. The highest paid third baseman last year. And by the way, I researched it. He will be the highest third baseman this year unless a new contract is signed that beats his. Anthony Rendon, $38 million last year.
That might be the worst contract in MLB history. It's like Deshaun Watson without giving up draft picks, like the Browns, the worst country in NFL history. But yeah, Anthony Rendon got paid and just checked out. Gets hurt. He's not trying. I got my money. It's pretty pathetic. One of the worst, probably the worst. Do you think so? Do you think it's the worst contract in baseball history? I think it is.
In baseball history might be pushing it a little bit, but but here's what I was going to tell you. How many bad contracts have the Angels done?
Josh Hamilton.
Yes.
Albert Pujols,
right? It's like they don't learn.
You knew when they signed Albert Pujols, you knew like the last 3 or 4 years were going to be a disaster. You just knew it, but because they signed him past 40. But yeah, the Angels, it's just not a well-run organization.
Yes. So I was looking on my phone. You probably saw me pull the phone up. I knew I had this stat here. I wanted to find it. Anthony Rendon is now 35 years old. He has missed 605 of the 810 games that he has been eligible to play over the last 5 seasons. And in those 205 games that he did play, he has an OPS of 666.
That's fitting.
Isn't it, though? That's That is kind of fitting.
Ooh, real quick. Are
Yeah.
the Diamondbacks shopping Marte?
I almost talked about that today. I was going to save that, but yes and no. They are, but they aren't. It was we were you and I have talked about this off air. We'll pull back the curtain a little bit for this particular podcast. We wanted to keep it a little shorter today. There's a couple of reasons for that, but I was afraid that if I got into the Marte thing, it wouldn't be a short podcast because we
We
would
can talk about it next week. But,
yeah, we would start
I
doing
just-
stuff. So
Just saw that on my timeline. I'm like, what the heck? I would not do that, but okay.
right? Okay, so let's go back to our list here. Anthony Rendon, we just did third base. Left field, another Astro, Yordan Alvarez, $26.83 million.
I think he DHs a lot.
He
was
does.
injured most of the year. I think he's more of a DH, but when he's healthy, he is one of the best hitters in baseball. He is an absolute beast.
So you're saying yes?
Yes, I've watched him play several times. You know, I live in Houston, and he seems to homer every time I go. Although the last game I went to, he's hurt, but he seems to just homer every time I go to the game. He's a stud.
All right, we'll go to our All Gloves Off SM on Twitter. We need one more vote to be 150, and I'm sure that I believe Cheese reposted it on his Twitter timeline as well. Sir, what's your Twitter time?
At Football Cheese.
Okay.
Cheese is just CHEZ. Yeah, it'll be the top thing after the pinned thing of me predicting the Super Bowl correctly. You know, my video of that. Of course, I had that pinned. You know, it was all about me. And then right below that, the poll question, and
Yeah, you'll get it on Cheese's feed much faster than you will on ours. We got a bunch of stuff over top of it. All right, center field, Mike Trout, $37.1 million of Mike Trout.
Used to be, absolutely. He's not the player. He's just not as good as he used to be. So once again, Angels on this list multiple times.
Yes.
It's Mike Trout though, so I get it.
And then the last one, right field, of course. I'm sure everybody is screaming at this one. Who they all know who it is. Juan Soto, $61.87 million last year is what he made.
That contract was so bad for baseball. Mets should never have done that. Yankees and Mets both should never even come close to doing that. He's a terrible defender. He's going to have to DH the second half of the contract. He probably should DH now. Just awful. He can hit though.
Yeah, we'll get into some here in a moment. We're going to do the top 5 free agents. Let me give you that list that we're going to do here in a second. It's going to be Pete Alonso, Cody Bellinger, Rhys Hoskins, Josh Naylor, and Luis Ariz. Those are the 5 first basemen that we're going to look at. We're going to predict where they will go and how much money they will make. We'll do that here in just a moment as soon as we're done talking about our third topic here in our MLB 4-pitch talk, and that is that both Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz, the Guardians pitchers, have officially been indicted because of what they have done in their pitching scandal. Do you want to explain the pitching scandal real quick, or you want me to take the stab at this one?
I was just going to say what they did was there's prop bets. Like, should the first pitch be a ball or strike? And Emmanuel Clase was purposely throwing balls in the dirt, nowhere near, and getting paid between $5,000 and $7,000. That's it.
Yeah.
Guy making $20 million a year, and bets were placed on those games, big bets. And between those two guys, their bookies or whatever made $450,000. But it's obvious you're going to get caught if there's all of a sudden big bets on that one pitch. And if you want to add anything to it.
Well, there was some other stuff that they did too. They would so you have said this before, and I 100% agree with you. The prop bets should not be. You shouldn't be able to bet live like that. I don't like to bet anyway. I don't do it. I know you don't do it. I think it takes away from the fun of me actually watching the game itself. I don't want to be obsessed with my fantasy players or, oh man, I need the 4th leg of this 5 parlay to hit so I can get X amount of dollars or anything like that, right? I just want to watch the game for the game. So it's the same way when I go to the game and people are up and down, and they're like, excuse me, sir, excuse me, pardon me, I'm getting out. And it's like, and it's in the middle of the inning or something like that. It's like, at least wait till the half inning, for God's sake. A lot of this stuff kind of gets on my nerves. I'm more of a purist. I go to the game to watch the game. And I don't know about you, but I've started doing this. I've started buying seats in the middle of the aisle, because if you buy seats on the end, you're always the guy that has to get up and let everybody out and in and in and out and everything else. So I started buying seats in the middle of the aisle so nobody bothers me and I can watch the game in peace. Anyway, I'll get off my rant there. But so not only were they doing balls and strikes, they were also doing first pitch slider or fastball. You can vote on that too. And then the other thing that what got them caught was Emmanuel Clase actually having a cell phone in the bullpen going, hey, I'm getting ready to go out there, let's make this bet and yada, yada, yada. It's illegal, by the way. If you guys don't know, it is illegal by the rules of Major League Baseball for anyone in uniform, even if you're not playing that day or if you're on the IL or whatever it is, if you are there at the ballpark and you are in uniform, you are not allowed to have any kind of cellular device with you during the game. So all of those things were things that they violated. Are you upset as I am? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm upset about this. They put both of those pitchers on paid leave.
Yeah, I'm the Indians, Guardians, whatever. I don't want to pay them. I don't want to pay them 1 cent. So yeah, they should not be on paid leave at all. They should not be paid. They're probably going to, Clase, what it sounds like, may go to prison for a while. Like, this is against the law. Like, this is totally against the law. And it's so easy to catch. That's the thing. If all of a sudden someone makes a huge bet on one particular thing like that, it's so easy to catch. So I think they've been investigating this for like 2 years now or longer.
Do you think there's going to be other pitchers or other position players or something like that are eventually going to be found out and are going to get caught with this too?
Yes, and depending on who they are, they might get protected. Just going to mention two people real quick. If you did not know, Shohei Ohtani's last year, his interpreter got arrested for allegedly stealing, making betting on games and stealing from Ohtani. Now, does Major League Baseball want to protect him? I don't know. A lot of people think that Ohtani was the one betting on the games, and if he did, he would be done. He'd be kicked out.
Yes.
You know what happened to Pete Rose. And so I just want to mention that. Who knows? But I think if MLB found out about it, I think they do everything to protect Ohtani. He brings them a lot of money. Look what he did this year. Look what he did. And one more person I want to mention, because I can't stand him. LeBron James, a lot of people around him have been tied to this kind of stuff. But NBA will do anything and everything to protect LeBron James. So
yeah, they're protecting their moneymaker, right?
Yep, they'll do anything. Although I don't think he brings much anymore, but because he's not very good anymore. But
I think he brings more than what you think.
Maybe, but those two players, those leagues will protect them. But yeah, I think we could find out more and more players doing this, and then it's so dumb because there's not enough money incentives to do it to blow away your career. You're making way more money in your. So I just don't understand. It's stupid. Don't do it. Like, why?
Well, I think he didn't think, at least in Clase's, I read a lot of it. It's a really long, I can't think of the legal term for it. There's it's like a dissertation, but it's 70 some pages long. Over the last 3 days, I've skimmed through it and I read bits and pieces of it. So the money was never sent to Clase and the money was never sent to Ortiz. The bookies always sent their money back home to the Dominican Republic to where their families were. And I think from what I was reading through that, they kind of thought they wouldn't get caught because of that, because it wasn't able to be traced as well in the United States, and because it was going back to their family members back in the Dominican. And I guess they've also proven that one of the bookies, because there was more than one bookie doing this with them, and one of those bookies actually lived in the Dominican. So I know that you can funnel money different kinds of ways and stuff like that. I won't get into all of that from the job that I do right at the moment. And there's all kinds of ways to funnel money.
Crypto is another way. Yeah.
Right. So I just think they didn't think they were going to get caught. Last thing on this, because I really don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I can't stand all of this, but I want to talk about it. 65 years in prison and a lifetime ban from Major League Baseball. That's the maximum penalty for either one of these guys. Do you think that's enough to deter anyone else from doing it moving forward?
I think a lifetime ban's enough. They won't get 65 years even if they're found guilty. They won't do close to that. They'll have attorneys, but I think a lifetime ban is enough. You're kicked out. That should be enough. You can't play baseball anymore.
Yeah.
And I think every organization, from the majors, the minors, you have to make it clear to these players, do not do this. You have to talk to them about it. If this person, and I'm sure they know some of the bookies, if these people approach you, tell us immediately. Turn them in. And we can send it to Major League Baseball office that they're trying to do this, or send to the FBI, because it is illegal. It is against the law. So organizations need to educate these young players. A lot of them are 18 years old. When they get drafted, and 16 years old when they sign, if they're like Venezuela or Dominican. So you've got to educate these players. Do not get involved with these bad people. It's like Michael Vick. Don't get involved with these people that are betting on dogfighting. Do not get involved with them. And he did. Just be smart, have good judgment. Don't get involved.
That's it. Hey, I appreciate you guys. We're now up over 150 on our poll question. I've got it right over here on my right-hand side. We'll do it here right before we do the top 10, our lights out list, as we like to call it. And for today, it will be who is the NFL MVP right now. We'll count down from 10 to 1 here in just a little bit from that. But first, let's do our last part here of the MLB 4-pitch talk. Then I want to talk about our big announcement. I've got it all written out right here. Cheese, you got to remind me before we go to football. I want to do the big announcement. We have a sponsorship now, and I want to talk about it. We'll do that. You don't even know what's coming. Cheese doesn't even know the sponsor, and we got some really cool stuff going on. Right?
Pepperidge Farm. Okay.
Pepperidge Farm. It's not Pepperidge
Farm. Remembers.
All right. So first basemen that are free agents, how much will they get, and what team will they go to? Cheese, you want to take the first? You want me to take it, or do you want to take it 1 and 2?
Well, I did 5 different teams that can't go to the same team, so I just want to say that.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how much money they're getting. I looked at some. When you sent me the notes, I looked at some projections, and some guys are like $100 million apart. So I don't even have the number. I just have the teams. But why don't you go ahead?
Okay. So
let's see how many we have the same.
Okay. Pete Alonso, right? I got some numbers on him. So since he debuted in 2019, Pete Alonso has hit 264 home runs. He is a power first guy, obviously. That's number 3, by the way. Judge is 1, Schwarber is 2, and then Pete Alonso is 3. He's a really bad defensive first baseman, though. Yeah. You like yourself better than you do Pete Alonso?
I like me.
All right. He's a really bad first baseman.
He's always been
I don't know. I wrote something else down, but
he's always been bad, but he's gotten worse the last few years. Yeah.
Oh, he has no speed. That's what else I wrote down there. That was not what I thought that said at first. I had to. I'm old. I'm getting old, so I got to creep up on the notes sometimes. But he has no speed either. So I think he's got to go to an American League team because of that. Now, I do think the Mets have a shot at re-signing him, but I would put him on an American League team, and because of that, I gave him 5 years, $132 million, which actually falls in right in the center of what Paul Goldschmidt got in his heyday when he signed an extension, and what Freddie Freeman got when he went to the Dodgers. So Paul Goldschmidt got 131-ish, and then Freddie Freeman got 134. So I put Pete Alonso at 132, going to the Boston Red Sox. Who do you have Alonso going to?
Red Sox as well. We think alike. Had to be an American League team because he's going to have to DH, and Red Sox could really use a power bat, a right-hand bat too. So yeah, I agree. Red Sox.
All right, so I'm gonna throw some curveballs in here because I guarantee you we're not gonna pick everybody the same. Guarantee it because of what I'm gonna do and what we're gonna say here. Oh, by the way, MLB Trade Rumors. I don't usually plug other websites, but I will for this one. It's a fun thing. They've got 50 free agents, and they give away some stuff. If you go in and you say how much they're going to make and what teams they're going to go to, which is where I got this idea from, they'll give you prizes and stuff. So MLBTradeRumors.com. All right. So Cody Bellinger. I'm going to take. I'll do all of them first. All right. Is that all right with you, sir?
Okay. All on the list, or just Bellinger?
Well, I'll do Bellinger, and then you can do Bellinger, and then I'll do Hoskins, and you can do Hoskins. We'll do it that way, okay? All right, so Bellinger is the second one here. He's age 29. In his last 1,781 at bats, his slash line is 281, 338, 477, which is pretty darn good. 73 home runs and 77 doubles as well. And the big bugaboo for him has been his strikeouts. But his strikeouts have declined every year. And in fact, last year with the Yankees, his strikeout percentage was only 13.7%, which was much better than his almost 30% earlier in his career. So I picked a team that needs a bat. He is versatile as well. And I'll hint this out. Terry Francona likes the fact that people can be versatile. He can play first base. He can play the outfield. And, of course, he can DH. So I'm giving him 5 years, $140 million to play for the Cincinnati Reds.
I know the Reds need a corner infield bat, but I didn't have him on this list.
Which is what Bellinger is.
And a left-hander. I didn't have him on this list because I just don't think they're going to spend the money. I think other teams are going to spend more. I actually considered them with a few guys, not Bellinger, but a couple guys later on. I was going through, I had Reds, and then final I crossed them out. But
I get it.
So Bellinger, I have two teams. Yankees are going to go after Kyle Tucker, I think, if they sign him. If they sign him, then they're not going to sign Bellinger, in my opinion. Okay.
Can't afford both.
Can't afford both.
All right.
So if like Kyle Tucker goes to the Dodgers, I think Bellinger goes back to Yankees. If not, I'm going to say Bellinger goes to, this team needs outfield help, and they need another left-hand bat. Houston Astros would be a really good fit. They wouldn't, Alvarez was out, they were so right-hand dominant. I'm looking at the lineup. I was at the game. Dakin Park, it used to be Minute Maid. It's called Dakin Park now. I'm there. I'm like, why is 7 right-handers in this lineup? So they need outfield help, and they need a left-hander. And he's versatile. He can play 4 positions. He can play all 3 outfielders and first base. Yes. So, why not Astros go after Cody Bellinger?
All right. I don't want them to get them because I don't really like the Astros. But
I know you don't.
I also saw, I'm going to forget his name. He managed for the Philadelphia Phillies. He managed for the Yankees as well. He was a catcher.
Joe Torre, Larry Boa.
Larry Boa. There we go. I saw an interview with Larry Boa where he basically stared right into the camera and said, hey, if you're a baseball fan and you're still harboring the Houston Astros for what they did, you're dumb. I mean, he just looked right in the camera and said it. And I was like, wait a minute, don't call me dumb. But yeah, I'm still harboring that a little bit. But
I know you are. are. Okay.
Actually, I'm kind of harboring that a lot of it, to be honest.
I know.
All right. Rhys Hoskins is the third guy I chose for the top 5 first basemen. He wants to go somewhere where he can revive his career because last year he only hit 12 home runs, but the 3 seasons prior he hit 26, 30, and 27. I think most people would be surprised that he also hits doubles. He had 175 doubles and 186 home runs in his 8-year career. So I'm going to give him a 1-year, $12 million contract to go revive his career in the best hitter's ballpark available, and then put some kind of clause in there that if he gets traded, the team that picks him up has to pick up the 2nd-year option on his contract. So I'm throwing that out there, and I'm going to put him in Colorado to play first base for them.
I'll say this. He's one of my least favorite players in baseball. He is such a jerk. I was going to say something different. He is such a jerk. I cannot stand him. But like you said, he needs to revive his career, probably a 1-year deal. I see him going to a team like the Rockies. I didn't have the Rockies that maybe isn't very good, that needs a bat that can flip him at the deadline. So maybe like a Nationals or Twins. Maybe I'll say Twins. Minnesota Twins 1-year deal.
Okay. I can see that as well. I just wanted to put him in a nice hitter's ballpark. So I did that for him. The 4 out of 5, number 4 for us is Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor's got some interesting stats and some interesting splits here. 18%. He has never gone lower than 18% over a replacement player. He's hit 25 doubles this past year, and he stole 30 bases, and he hit 25 home runs. That's like, whoa.
He still, Josh Naylor stole 30 bases.
He did. Look it up.
He has got this big gut. It's
Hey, there's
unbelievable.
nothing wrong with having a big gut. You calm down over there.
I don't think he ever stole like what 8 or 9 bases in a season, something like
No,
that.
but he all of a sudden got
Crazy.
30. Yes.
I don't understand that. Okay.
I just had to throw that out there and see everybody's reaction. I'm sure AI will cut that one up too. You'll see that one later on, ladies and gentlemen. But so
AI.
yeah, and he is above average defensively, and he's only 28 years old. So because of all of those things, 28 to 35 is what I was looking at, and I guarantee you're not putting him on this team. I keep hearing this team is going to spend. I've heard it 4 or 5 times. The baseball meetings are just up the road in Las Vegas from me. I talked to some people who I know are up there earlier today, and I heard this from, I talked to 4 different people, and I heard it from 2 of them. And they're saying the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to spend money this offseason. So I gave Josh Naylor to the Pittsburgh Pirates on a 7-year, $150 million contract.
I don't. Pirates spending money? Yeah, I'd have to see that.
That's
I am not buying that right now. We'll see.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
So Naylor's one I thought for the Reds. I just don't know. What the Reds' budget is. I don't know if they're going to spend. A lot of times they just don't. They'll, like Jaime Candelario, and
Jamer Candelario, but that's okay.
I like Jaime better.
Okay.
Briefly played for the Cubs. And what's that player on the Phillies? They signed him, that outfielder.
Oh, Castellanos.
But they're like mid-tier free agents. They just never seem to go for like the better ones. But one thing I like about Naylor is he takes a lot of walks. High on base guy, works the count. Doesn't have a ton of power.
No, but that's what the Reds need is power.
So, but I just think he's going to resign with the Mariners. I think he's a really good fit for them, and I think they need to resign him. So I think he stays in Seattle.
Okay. And he's not versatile enough either. I don't think the Reds would go for just a guy who was just a first baseman either. So that's why I didn't give Josh Naylor to the Reds, because I thought about it too. Luis Arraez is the 5th of 5. Luis Arraez has never had a batting average under 292 in his career. But in his last 2,000 at-bats, he's only hit 22 home runs. So he has no power whatsoever, and he has no real defensive spot either. I mean, he's played a little bit of second, he's played a little bit of first, and he's not real great at either one of them. So here's what I did. Before everybody bashes me on X, which I'm sure it's going to come anyway, but before you do it, listen to my logic.
Okay.
I like a team that is all about chaos, right? They're all about stealing bases and running and getting guys on and all of that kind of thing. And that describes one team perfectly to me, and that's the Arizona Diamondbacks. They can platoon him with Ketel Marte at second base, and they've also got a young player named Loveland who they're going to put at first base. So I think they can platoon Luis Arraez with both of them, and it's a relatively cheap contract too, because I don't think he's going to get a big blockbuster deal. So I gave Luis Arraez to the Arizona Diamondbacks on a 2-year, $30 million contract. Who'd you have him going to, sir?
I do not see that happening. You can't play him at second base. He's bad at second. He's not below average. He's really bad, a defensive second baseman. So he's going to have to play first or DH. So I went the team that could use a player like him. They strike out way too much. Arraez just doesn't strike out. Doesn't hit for homers, but he just never strikes out. And he's just annoying. I remember when he played for the Marlins against the Braves a lot. He seemed to always get a hit when you just stop that. So Texas Rangers could use a player like Luis Arraez. I think it'd be a really good fit for them. He can play first base there.
All right, so we have that gives us to the end of our MLB 4-pitch talk. And now I'm going to give you, excitingly, our very first sponsor here on the Lights Out Sports Podcast. And they're going to sponsor everything. They're going to sponsor all of our stuff, including Cheese's podcast that he does for us as well. They're going to do the Red Hot Reds podcast, because they are actually going to sponsor all Gloves Off sports media as a whole. So fuel your battle with Battle Bites. That's right, Battle Bites. It's brand new. They haven't even started making products yet officially. They opened in a few days. It's for muscle recovery. You got 26 grams of high quality protein, a low carb, high protein formula with clean ingredients. It's premium brisket and it's natural spices. And what I like about it, as being a first responder, I was really picky about some of the sponsors that we've had. I've said it in the past. There have been some gambling things try to jump on board with us and stuff like that. I'm not really into all of that, so I've turned a few of those down. So 10% of all profits from Battle Bites go to the Wounded Warrior Project. So they donate 10% of their stuff to them. 25 grams of protein, 180 calories per bag, only 1 gram of fat, and 100% tasty biscuits. They have flavors that's Reaper, Original, and Spicy Sweet. And of course, this being Veterans Day, we wanted to make this announcement today. I've been talking with them for a few days. We really thank all of our veterans out there. And this company gives the 10% to the Wounded Warrior Project. So it gets even better, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who listen here and to the other podcasts that we have on the All Gloves Off Sports Media Network, this is what you can do. You can simply use the code ALLGlovesOFF10. That's right. That's All Gloves Off and the number 10. And you will get 10% off of your order. Not once, every single time you order. So use that promo code with you. We'll have it up on our site here shortly. You can just simply click on the link and go over and get 10% off of your order with us. And then you can also feel really good about yourself that 10% of it goes to the Wounded Warrior Project as well. Again, that's Battle Bites, and that is our first sponsorship. We are very proud to have them aboard with us now. So thank you guys very much for that, and we will jump into the NFL talk that, of course, my buddy Cheese is going to take over right now.
There we go.
All right, sir. So preview us a little bit. What are we going to get in our NFL 4-down territory today, sir?
We have to talk about Travis Hunter of the Jaguars. We got some Bengals talk. We got to talk about Burrow, Trey Hendrickson, and of course, we're going to look at the playoff standings. And we're going to do a few predictions about a couple teams in the playoffs. But first, like you mentioned, I just want to thank all the veterans out there. Thank you for your service. It's amazing. And veterans don't get enough recognition in this country. And there's too many homeless vets out there. It's a problem, and it should be fixed.
So we're going to team with Battle Bites, and we're going to 10% of that money will go to the Wounded Warrior Project. So between all of us here, you guys buy some great food, and they'll donate some great money to a great foundation. So sounds good. Everybody wins, man. Everybody wins.
Everybody wins except for Travis Hunter, the rookie cornerback / wide receiver of the Jaguars. Is out.
Segue.
I can segue just about anything. Just Pepperidge Farm remembers, rookie cornerback, wide receiver Travis Hunter. He's out for the season. He's a second overall pick with a knee injury. He underwent an LCL repair surgery. He's really the only two-way player in the NFL, and he's already hurt. And this is just his rookie year. My question for you, Mike, is do you think he should continue to play both ways in 2026?
This is a great question. I've really thought about this a lot. I was looking at your notes earlier about this. I mean, he wants to, but does Jacksonville want him to? That's more the question. And who's paying him, right? Jacksonville's the one paying him. I mean, earlier we were talking about baseball service time. You were like, hey, if they want to manipulate the service time, the team has all the right to be able to do that. And here I think the team has all the right to be able to go to Travis Hunter and say, look, man, we got a big investment in you, and we think you're a really good receiver. But, you're only going to play cornerback like maybe every once in a while. If somebody's hurt or something like that, I can understand it. But I think they need to have him concentrate on the receiving end of his career.
If he was on my team, I would want him to focus just on one position, and he's a better receiver than corner. So I agree with that. Now, the next question is, do you think he will? Do you think that he will just next year focus on one position, or do you think he will still play both?
See, this was the problem that I had with Travis Hunter from the get-go. I am not only scared that he won't just concentrate on one. I think if he doesn't get his way, then he's going to pull like a Deion Sanders or a Shador or something like that and go to the press. He'll stand up behind the microphone and be like, hey, man, this is what I want to do. I don't really care what the team wants. And then there's going to be this huge controversy of, do you do what you need to do and how you need to get paid, or do you do what your team needs you to do? Because I guess I can understand his point to a certain extent. He is going to get paid eventually. I mean, I know he's going to have I believe it's a 4-year rookie contract, but
Plus
then he's
an option for a 5th.
Right. So at least by the 6th year, if he plays both positions that entire time, that ups his value and he's going to make more money. So I guess I understand that point of it. This is why I wouldn't have ever drafted him. He's a great talent, but this right here is what's going to make or break his football career, and unfortunately, I think it's going to break it.
You mentioned some really good points, and part of what I'm going to say about drafting him. They didn't just draft him 2nd overall. The Jaguars do not have a 1st-round pick next year. They traded up to 2, and the Browns have their 1st-round pick. So they essentially gave up the 2nd overall pick and their 1st round next year, which I think will be probably in the middle, in the teens, for a player that's probably going to have to be a wide receiver only, an undersized wide receiver. I agree with you. I would not have taken him. I would have traded up. I would say at 5, but if I trade up him for Abdul Carter, obviously, who went 3rd to the Giants. But because the Jaguars invested so much in him, I think he's going to play both ways for at least a couple more years, even if he keeps getting hurt, because you have to justify all that draft capital, 2 1st-round picks. You have to justify it. And you can't say, oh, he's going to be our number 2 receiver for the next few years. And we traded up, use 2 1st-round picks, not just 2 1st-round picks, the 2nd overall pick. So I think they have to play him. And that could shorten his career. That's what I'm worried about. I mean, he keeps getting hurt, all that wear and tear, playing all those snaps, that could really shorten his career.
Right. And then it's we talked about Jackson Dart earlier in the show, right? That's, it's the same kind of thing with the concussions and stuff like that. Don't be reckless. Don't play. I mean, this is the NFL. We're not in college anymore. You're not in Pee-wee football anymore, right? This is where the big boys play. And when you get hit by a linebacker and when you get hit by a safety coming at you full force, it's a little different than get hit by one on a college football field.
Yep, absolutely. And he's a player who relies on his speed. Wide receivers and corners rely on speed, and he's already has a knee injury. So,
yeah.
All right. Number 2, Joe Burrow's practice window has now opened a little earlier than thought, meaning the Bengals have 3 weeks to activate him. Because they opened his practice window, he will be activated in the next 3 weeks, or they wouldn't have done it.
Right.
Bengals are currently 3-6. Let's say he doesn't play the next 2 games. Those games are at Pittsburgh and at home against New England. And then he returns for Thanksgiving night. That is at Baltimore. Let's just say hypothetical.
Okay.
Do the Bengals need to win both of those games? Do they need to get to 5-6 to have a chance to make the playoffs? Do you think?
No. And I don't like how the Bengals, we talked earlier that they didn't handle the Travion Henderson situation very well. They've not handled this situation very well either. I would not have brought back Joe Burrow until they beat Pittsburgh this weekend. If they lose to Pittsburgh this weekend and they split that, then no, they don't have a chance, in my opinion, to make the playoffs. So why bring him back? They've already beat Pittsburgh once, and if they beat Pittsburgh again, this time in Pittsburgh, I believe, if they can do that, and they still have to play Baltimore 2 more times on the schedule, then it's like, oh, well, okay, now you've got a shot, because the only other 2 teams that are going to give you, any pushback at all in that division, you can actually beat them all 4 times you play them. So, okay, I would not have opened the window up this week. What's it matter if you bring him back now or you bring him back next week? That 3-week window is still there. And if you want to play on Thanksgiving night, then great. And I want to see him play on Thanksgiving night. If they can beat Pittsburgh. If they don't beat Pittsburgh this weekend, I don't want to see him on the field for the rest of the year.
I want to see him on Thanksgiving night, because if I had to list my favorite 10 games of last year, 2 of the 10 would be the Bengals-Ravens games of last year. They were incredible. They were both shootouts. I think one was overtime, and that was 1 point. Ravens actually won both.
Yeah.
All the Bengals had to do was split that, and they wouldn't make the playoffs. But those were epic games. I don't want to see Joe Flacco versus the Ravens. I know he used to play that. I don't want to see that game. So I want to see Burrow. But you bring up a good point. Why activate unless he's almost ready to come back? 3-week windows to get you to gradually get you back in, I guess. I think they have to win them both, because you can't guarantee that if they're, say they split, they beat Pittsburgh, lose New England, they're 4-7. They're not guaranteed. You pretty much have to win after that. There's not guaranteed you're going to win out even with Burrow, because the defense isn't very good.
No,
I really think they have to win the next 2 games. Losing the Jets and Bears just killed their season. And if they lose the next 2 games, they're 3-8. They should just shut Burrow down.
Yes,
Absolutely. Let's pick high in the draft. I don't think they will, but for the Bengals, for their future, because they need a lot, especially on defense and offensive line, they should shut them down. So what do you think is their best chance to make the playoffs? Winning the division or getting in as a wild card? Because it's a winnable division. The leader's 5.
It's a winnable division, and I think they need to put all their chips in on the division. To be honest, they need to concentrate on beating the Steelers this weekend, and then, like we said, they still play. And I said Travion or something.
Travion Henderson. I know.
Yeah, I know.
I was going to call you out in a second.
Face, and I was like, I'm just going to go right on. Right.
I was going to wait till the next segment to
It's all right. All right. I knew I screwed it up when I said it. So
he had an amazing game. So I get it. He's this past week.
Yeah. And boy, New England has impressed me a lot. But we'll talk about that's our poll question. Which team has impressed you the most this past Sunday when their win, which is the Texans' big come from behind win, the Patriots in their win, the Seahawks just absolutely killing the Cardinals, or the Rams beating the 49ers. So yeah, 4 really good choices for you guys to choose from. You can go over to at All Gloves Off SM on our X account. That is the entire All Gloves Off Sports Media, or you can go over to Cheese. You'll probably find it quicker on his X account, and that is at Football Cheese.
Okay, I just thought of something. You mentioned if the Steelers lose to the Bengals at home, Mike Tomlin's in trouble. Mike Tomlin.
They're 5-5, right? If that
Mike
happens.
Tomlin, there are already people wanting him gone. He will be in trouble if he loses that game. They're already mad that they lost the Bengals in the first game, because if you lose twice the Bengals without Burrow, that would be bad. All right.
But
Speaking
their
of the
defense
Bengals,
is terrible too.
very disappointing defense. Yep.
Right. And
it
so
should be better than it is.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Who has the better offense, the Bengals or the Steelers? Even without Joe Burrow. Yeah, which retread quarterback is better, Flacco or Rodgers?
Believe it or not, it's close.
Mm-hmm.
Neither has a great offensive line.
Nope.
Bengals have better weapons.
Yes. Can they get the ball to him is the question.
Steelers only have one receiver worth a crap.
No.
Their receiver.
Did you
watch that Charger game?
I did.
Their receivers minus Metcalf are just a disaster.
I don't like their running back. I think the Bengals and Chase Burns is probably a better running back.
I think Chase Brown is better.
Or Brown. Man, I'm just messing up all these names.
But I think Jalen Warren's underrated back. I think he's very good. I do think Chase Brown's better, but I think Jalen Warren is good. I don't think the offensive line's good. I think it's pretty close, actually, to be honest with you. I think that Steelers have a slightly better defense because the Bengals defense is horrific. Speaking of the Bengals, it came out. They obviously didn't trade Trey Hendrickson, not Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson. He's an edge rusher. Okay. Yes. At the trade deadline
this week either. They've already ruled him out for this week. At first, they wanted a first-round pick. No one was offering that. Then they lowered their asking price. They really wanted a second-round pick if they were going to move him. According to reports, multiple places, no one offered more than a fourth. If they lose him in free agency, the Bengals do. They get a third-rounder in 2027. So taking a fourth round in 2026 makes no sense. You can't do that. So as a Bengals fan,
I want to know what your thoughts on that.
Well, they finally did something right. I think the bigger question here is, do they let him go in free agency, or do they try to re-sign him? I mean, the headache and the heartbreak that it took to get him this past offseason. Do we go through that again? And you know what? I want to give you a little homework here, because I was doing some homework on this. Yes. So the Bengals have basically gotten all their offensive weapons either by signing players they already had or through free agency. Mm-hmm. And then they got all of their defensive players in the draft. And I know you're the big draft guy, but they haven't done I mean, it's an interesting strategy if it works, but it didn't work.
You have to draft them. You have to hit on the picks. They missed on so many of them.
Yes, even the ones this past year. So, I mean, that's why their defense is horrible. They did a bunch of draft picks, and they've not. I mean, even Mims. That when they drafted him, I was like, oh, okay, I like this pick. I mean, he's not the best thing out there, but Alabama,
they drafted up. The Bengals like to draft upside.
Mm-hmm.
Shamar Stewart and Amari Mims were probably the super high ceiling but big risk type players.
Right.
You can't do that every year. You can do that every once in a while, but you can't do that every year because you're going to miss on some of those. DJ Turner was a great pick, I believe, 2nd round pick out of Michigan. But yeah, you could just look at their defense. I mean, they had Jesse Bates. They let him go. Like they've had some good picks, but most of them have not worked out on defense.
Yeah, the cornerback from Michigan that they got has a real short last name. I can't remember. Hall, right?
Another Michigan guy. Yeah. Cam Taylor-Britt hasn't really worked out. He's not been playing well. Yeah.
He's missed more tackles than any other person in the NFL.
Yeah. So why do you think teams didn't offer even a 2nd rounder for Hendricks? He's just really good. That surprised me, because if a team, let's just say you give up a 2nd round pick, you're probably a good team. If you do,
mm-hmm.
You'll get a 3rd rounder back in 2027 if you don't re-sign him. I think that'd be worth it. That surprised me that the best offer wasn't even a 3rd. Why do you think that was? Do you think it's all the money left on the deal?
He was hurt at the trade deadline, so I don't know if people thought that he was if he wasn't going to play or what that was.
And I wasn't sure if he got hurt after. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so I mean, I would have a little pause because he's hurt like that. You don't want to give up a ton for him, especially not a 1st round pick for somebody that's hurt.
Yeah, you're not giving up a 1st rounder for him unless he agreed to an extension. But I think he wants to hit the free agent market, and he's going to get paid. Yes. He's very good. Okay. Yes, he should. Probably not by the Bengals, even though they have a ton of cap room over the next few years. They're in a great cap situation.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, they have one of the lowest number of cap money tied to defensive players. One of the lowest in the NFL. Just throwing it out there. So they have money to spend. They could have already extended them.
Yeah, but it's like we just said, they drafted a lot of those guys. So they're still within their first 4 years. So they're not paying them a whole lot. But that offensive side of the ball, they got a lot of money invested in that side of the ball.
But they might be $70 million under the cap next year. So why isn't Hendrickson signed? You could make him a high cap number next year and then lower later years. Mm-hmm. You got to use the cap somehow. I just don't understand how the Bengals do business. I can't imagine being a Bengals fan. So.
No, it's difficult, sir.
Last question.
If we didn't have Burrow, it'd be really bad.
Yeah. Last question.
Sure.
For the football, and then we do the lights out list.
All right. Can't wait.
Or just people on the street come by like, I can't wait for the list. It's just a list now. Okay. We're looking at let's do the AFC first, the playoff standings. I'm going to list them. Okay. The number 1 seed right now is the Indianapolis Colts. They get the bye. Number 2 is Denver Broncos. Number 3 is New England Patriots. Number 4 is Pittsburgh Steelers. Those are all the division leaders. Top wild card is the Los Angeles Chargers, followed by the Buffalo Bills. And the last team to get in right now, they own the tiebreak because they beat the Chiefs, is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Chiefs just missing it. Question for you. Which of those teams currently has the best chance of missing the playoffs? Of those 7 teams I listed, which one do you think will miss the playoffs or has the best chance?
Oh, man. I've got to look at that list again. You gave that to me. Hang on, I've got it right here.
Well, I'm assuming you're not going to say the Colts or the Broncos. I'm assuming, and the Patriots probably not.
No, I'm not going to say those.
Not saying the Colts.
but the Jacksonville Jaguars are in there, right?
They're the 7th seed. They're tied for 7th with the Chiefs, but they beat the Chiefs head-to-head. So right now they own the tiebreak. They're the last team to get in.
And then is Pittsburgh or Baltimore in from the north?
Pittsburgh's the 4 seed. They're 5-4. Baltimore is 4-5. Right.
Okay, so it comes down to those two teams, Pittsburgh and Jacksonville for me. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh because I just don't believe in them. I think they're going to be mediocre again this year. And I think Mike Tomlin's going to get fired finally, and you know it's all going to go downhill for them. So I'm going to go Pittsburgh will be out.
I'm going to go with the Jaguars because they've won some games this year where they just force like 4 or 5 turnovers. Their defense isn't great; it's turnover dependent. They're 5-4, and we saw them collapse last week. I just don't think the Jaguars are that good. I think they're probably like an 8-9 team. So I have them. I think the Chiefs are going to. Well, go in that second. So which team that's currently? Actually, I have a different team. I don't have the Chiefs. Actually, I'm looking at my notes. Okay, which team?
Yeah, I don't have the Chiefs either.
Oh, okay. I do think the Chiefs could still make it. Obviously, what team not currently? Okay, what team not currently in the playoffs do you think has the best chance to make it in the AFC?
I'm going to go with the team that had the big comeback win on Sunday, which was the Houston Texans.
Okay.
I think that win could propel them to get back into the playoffs.
Yep, with Davis Mills, with the backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy. I watched that fourth quarter. It was like 26-0. They outscored the Jaguars in the fourth quarter. Jaguars just.
I couldn't believe it.
Jaguars are just a mess. Oh, did you see Liam Cohen's reaction at the end? The coach of the Jaguars. I kind of feel bad for him. I think he's a good coach, and he's got a mess of an organization. Anyway, I'm going to go with
a few years.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens because I do think they are going to win the division, eventually catch the Steelers. Like you said, Steelers they're so up and down. So I'm going to say Baltimore will win the division and be the team that makes it. Okay, same thing, NFC. Let me read the teams to you. The number 1 seed right now is Eagles. They would get the bye. The number 2 seed is Seattle Seahawks. Number 3 is Detroit Lions. Number 4, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Once again, those are the division leaders. Top wild card is the Los Angeles Rams. They're actually tied with the Seahawks, but Seahawks on the tiebreak. And they play each other this week. Big game. Number 6 seed is the Bears. And number 7 seed is the, what is it called? The Green Bay Packers? They still have a team where they've been playing? Okay. So which of those teams, 7 teams, do you think has the best chance to miss the playoffs?
This is really rough.
This was easy for me.
Was it?
Yeah, there's one team to me.
You're going to pick the Bears.
More on that in a second.
The Bears. I'm going to upset you a little. Well, no, you know what? I'm not going to upset you, and you shouldn't be upset with this pick because you've been doing this for a couple of weeks now. The only reason the Green Bay Packers are where they are is because of one guy. And I said this in the very beginning of the season, then I backed off of it and said Micah Parsons will get injured, and then that team's going to collapse. I'm going to go back to it. Micah Parsons is going to get injured, and the Green Bay Packers are going to collapse.
He better not get injured. They need him. They don't beat the Cardinals without him. They don't win that Cardinals game if he doesn't.
No, they don't win 2 or 3 of their games without him.
Yeah, you're right. At least 2. Yeah. At least. Okay, so you're saying Green Bay Packers. I get it. Yeah. Their offense is a disaster right now, and their head coach is awful. Check out my YouTube channel at Football with Cheese. I have 2 Matt LaFleur videos. Check him out, why he should be fired. I reacted after the Panthers game and after the Eagles game. They're very different videos, though, so make sure you check those out. My pick was the Chicago Bears, and I have a video coming out tomorrow. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I'm plugging my channel a lot. That's weird for me. I've already recorded it, but I only want to do 1 video a day. So it's all about the Bears and how they've done this year, what they've done in the past, and what I think is going to go forward. I do not think they're going to make the playoffs. I'll just say this little preview. They have 6 wins. The best team they've beaten record-wise is the Dallas Cowboys, who are 3-5-1. Every team they've beaten has 1, 2, or 3 wins. They have not beaten a team that's any good whatsoever. So, and their schedule's about to get pretty tough. So I'll say the Bears. And the last question before we do the lights out list: what is the team that's not currently in the playoffs in the NFC that has the best chance, you think, of making?
I'm going to do this based upon their schedule.
Okay.
All right. So here are their opponents from beginning this coming Sunday for the rest of the season: Arizona Cardinals, the Carolina Panthers, and the Cleveland Browns. All of those should be win-win-win. That gets you into December. The first week of December, they have a bye. Then they come back and they play the Titans. Ooh.
That's going to be tough. Only one team can lose the Titans. Only one.
Right? Only one.
There can be only one.
Then they're going to have a tough time with the next one. They're going to have a tough time with the Colts. But then they play the Bears. Again, should be another winnable game. And then they close the season out with the Seattle Seahawks. And this is going to be the San Francisco 49ers. So I'm going to put them into the playoffs because of the easy schedule. And they get that easy schedule. The NFL does this to where if they, because of all their injuries last year, they didn't finish real strong. They had a bad record last year. So then they get the easiest schedule. And you can really see it over the next few games. And because of that, I think they're going to make the playoffs. Them, the Rams, and the Seahawks will all three make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think you looked at my notes. Yeah, I agree. Schedule, 49ers, and Brock Purdy will be back. They're going to get some people back with injuries. Brandon Ayuk's probably come back. So, yeah, that's what I have. Okay.
All right. Excellent. Let's do our I've got it right here. We got over the 151 votes. The question was, which NFL team impressed you with their win on Sunday? Your choices were the Texans, the Patriots, the Seahawks, and the Rams. So I'll tell you who I chose. Cheese, you tell us who you chose here in just a second, and then we'll do the actual results of the poll question. So I'm going to say the Patriots, man. And not just because of the team. I watched that game. Like, I watched every second of that game. Mm-hmm. And I saw Grable coaching people up on the sidelines. I saw different players talking to other players on the sidelines. They look like a cohesive unit. And, man, they are playing like one right now. And they don't have a very hard schedule either. In fact, well, we said
they don't have a
last week. So
they don't have a hard schedule anyway.
Mm-mm.
No.
And they're just going to keep winning, and that momentum is just going to keep growing. And man, I picked them in the beginning, then I kind of backed off on them. But the Patriots really impressed me over the weekend. How about you?
Yeah, the Patriots, the Bears are the same way. One of the reasons the Bears are 6-3, last place schedule. Playing last place schedule is so it helps you more than it hurts you playing in first place, in my opinion. It's just so beneficial playing a last place schedule. And that's what the Bears and Patriots are experiencing, and it's very helpful. Second consecutive week, the team I picked, the poll one I picked is last. I thought the Rams, they didn't just beat the 49ers. They kicked the crap out of them.
Mm-hmm.
It was never close. They hit them in the mouth. One thing I like about the Rams, I don't necessarily like the play calling of Sean McVay so much, although I think it's been better. That was the best play calling he's done all year. But they play 4 tight ends, and they all seem to be good. That's the thing about the Rams. All their tight ends are good. Their rookie second-round pick, tight end, Terrence Ferguson, he barely plays because the other 3 tight ends are really good. They have so many weapons on offense. They just really impressed me. So all 4 teams impressed me, but I voted for the Rams, which finished last.
Right. So Cheese kind of gave that away. Rams finished with 16%. The Texans right behind them. I was really surprised the Texans got this low of a vote at 17%. Then the Seahawks with 28% and the Patriots with 39%. Over 2,100 people viewed this, and we got over 150 votes, and we appreciate both of those. Thank you guys very much. It's gone final now, so you can't vote anymore. It just expired a couple minutes ago, so we appreciate the fact that you guys all voted with us. All right, as we always do, the last thing on the podcast today is the lights out list. And we're going to do it right now. Right now. I'm sure you're going to do more of the eye test, and I looked at more of the numbers just like usual, right?
So, sorry, you cut out there. Maybe it was me, but.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I got the end of it. Yeah, I just looked at the teams. I looked at the standings, and I just thought of players and wrote down. I did not look at odds. I didn't look at analytics. Always the eye test. And I thought, who is my top 10? So obviously our lists are always so different. So I'm sure they are going to be this time as well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Let's see. I want to give this away. Do you have your list written down in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so of the 10, how many of them are not quarterbacks?
1.
See, I have 2 that are not quarterbacks. Everybody else is a quarterback, so it'll be interesting. All right. You want to go first and start with your 10, or do you want me to start with 10, sir?
Go ahead.
All right. I'm only doing this. I really wanted to put him higher because I love him right now, but I can't because of the record of the team. He is 16-2 as far as touchdown to interception ratio, and if he would have come back on Sunday, I would have put him higher, but he did not. He couldn't will his team back on Sunday. The Patriots took him down. So I put Baker Mayfield at number 10, and I honestly did this because I think as they start getting pieces back, he'll climb up this list. So I couldn't take him all the way off. I put him at number 10.
More on him in a second. Number 10 is Jared Goff of the Detroit Lions. No one's really talking about him, and I don't think he's going to win it. He's got a lot of talent around him, but he's just been really good since week 1. Week 1 against Green Bay, he didn't do hardly anything. Micah Parsons in his face, but since then, he's been really good. Maybe not great, but really good. So, yeah, number 10, Jared Goff.
All right. I do not have Jared Goff on my list.
Okay.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting here. So, I had to put this guy on my list because they're winning, and they're not supposed to be winning with him at quarterback. He is 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and not a great completion rate, 69.6%. Not fantastic, but a little above average. But I think if they don't have him, they're not setting themselves up to possibly get into the playoffs. San Francisco's Mac Jones.
He wouldn't have been in my top 25. Okay.
I
get it. Yeah.
Well, I look at it too as if he's not on that team, where is that team at? And he was the big guy that I looked at as, I think that's what the MVP is. If you take that guy off the team, they're just terrible. And he's what's keeping that team afloat right now, in my opinion.
He is one of the better backups in the NFL for sure. My number 9, you've already mentioned him, Baker Mayfield of the Buccaneers. Probably would have been top 5 a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Haven't been as good. They got a lot of injuries on the wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically Mecca Ibuka and a tight end who can only catch the ball underneath no speed. That's basically what he had. I know it was impressive the Patriots won, but no Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin. And Ibuka was great, but when in doubt, he had to dump it off to Cade Otton, who had 12 targets.
Yep.
So, number 9, Baker Mayfield. Still having a great year.
All right, so for me, it's Mayfield and then Jones, and now at number 8, another quarterback. He is 17 touchdowns, only 6 receptions. His completion rate goes up from Mac Jones's at 71%. He's only taken 10 sacks this year, and in those 10 sacks, he has the lowest sack yardage of any quarterback in the National Football League. He's only taken 62 yards total of a loss in 10 sacks, which is a really good number, by the way. Sam Darnold, he is my number 8.
More on him later. My number 8, I don't think you have him on the list. I'm just guessing maybe, is Patrick Mahomes of the Chiefs. I don't know. I don't think you have him on the list. Mahomes, he looks better than he has in years. And he's doing his left tackle was out for personal reasons. They started 0-2, but yeah, they get some help from the refs, obviously. But Mahomes where would they be without him? They're 5-4. They would not be close. And I don't know what it is, but he just looks better this year. So no, number 8.
They would all be at a Taylor Swift concert without him, by the way. That's the answer to the question. We were singing this guy's praises a few weeks ago. 17-6 as far as touchdown to interception ratio. His completion percentage is down a little bit, especially because of the Bengals game, 63.9%, and he has taken 15 sacks. My number 7 guy, even though we had him number 1 a few weeks ago, he's dropped all the way down to 7 for me, Dak Prescott.
I actually didn't put Dak Prescott on this list. And the reason is he has no chance to win it because the team is bad. So I would have him higher. I might even vote for him number 1, but he just has no chance to win it. It's the most valuable player on a good team award. So, but yeah, I get it. I really wanted to put him on the list, but I decided to leave him off. My number 7 is not a quarterback. He's a running back for the Indianapolis Colts. His name is Jonathan Taylor. He looked, last couple of years, had some injuries, looked like he's never going to get back to that all-pro form, and he's been unbelievable this year. Yes, the offensive line is great. They have a lot of weapons in passing game. He's playing with Tyler Warren. That's helped. What he did in Germany was incredible. He has been the best running back in the league this year. It is a position that has been devalued. I couldn't put him higher than this because of the position. This quarterback's so much more important, but Jonathan Taylor on his way right now, probably the favorite for Offensive Player of the Year. So yeah, number 7, Jonathan Taylor.
So the guy who was the favorite for Offensive Player of the Year is not as important as other quarterbacks?
They're going to give it to a running back or wide receiver. They usually do. Like Saquon got it last year, but didn't sniff the MVP. MVP is its quarterback for the most part. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, my number 6 guy. I don't have many stats on him because I honestly didn't look it up a whole lot, but I put him right here just because of where his team is as a whole. And I think I'm not sure how much it is because of him as it is the coaching that's around him. I think we think that the Chiefs have a really good coaching staff, and I think this team has a really good coaching staff too. They had a great plan this past. They played, I believe, on Sunday night.
Okay.
I put Justin Herbert at my number 6. Not maybe necessarily because of him, but if you looked at that game plan they had, that was a heck of a game plan, and he does what he's supposed to do, but he doesn't do anything spectacular. How about that?
He's so good at scrambling. He gets one of the best scrambling quarterbacks in the NFL. Somehow he just gets chunks. He's just very smart player. But he's thrown too many picks for me. I know he's had some offensive line injuries, offensive line.
Yeah.
I hate the PFF before the game. Like every offensive lineman was like last or second to last. That's, they have all these injuries though, but I would have put him 11th. I just couldn't have him because he's thrown some interceptions. And this, okay. My number 5 is probably higher on your list, but this is number 6 because of interceptions as well. But my number 6 is Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. Maybe I should put him higher. I'm sure he is higher. Oh my God, what happened? Did I lose you?
No, you're there. I can still hear you. You were just frozen.
Okay. Yeah, Josh Allen, I couldn't put him higher in this just because God, the Bills something's not just off about them. He wasn't great against the Dolphins. He wasn't great against the Falcons. I know he doesn't have a true number 1 receiver, and they tried to trade for Jalen Waddle. So, yeah, Josh Allen, but he's still amazing. He's still a great quarterback. So number 6 is Josh Allen of the Bills.
Well, Josh Allen is not on my list.
No, I thought I should have put him 3rd or 4th. Okay. Wow. Okay.
The Buffalo Bills have taken a couple steps back for me this year. And I think it's a lot of coaching, and I think it's a lot of Josh Allen's play. So
where would they be without him, though? Their defense isn't great. Where would they be without him? The thing with him is he doesn't have the weapons a lot of quarterbacks have. He doesn't even have, you can argue he doesn't even have number 1 or 2 receiver.
Yes.
And
I almost put Cook on this list. In fact, for me, Cook would have been number 11. I came really close to putting Cook where I put Mayfield.
Yeah, Cook has been amazing.
I think and I was arguing with you some last week about, him being, not the best running back and all of that kind of stuff.
That's right. But
yeah. Okay. I'll admit. But all right. So for me, it was Mayfield, Jones, Darnold, Prescott, Herbert, and now we're going to crack our top 5, and it's a receiver. 1,041 yards, the most yards of any receiver in the NFL, but he's only got 5 touchdowns. 247 yak yards, which is yards after catch. I know you're big on that, especially when you talk about some tight end that wears green and gold. And he's also had 6 catches of 40-plus yards so far this year. So for me, that kind of took out the 5 touchdowns. Now, those 2 stats did. And, of course, this is Jackson Smith-Njigba from the Seattle Seahawks.
Unlike most people on TV, you know how to pronounce his name. No one knows how to pronounce his name. People pay millions a year. It's crazy. I thought about him. I couldn't put him on the list. I decided not to put any receiver on, but yeah, he's off to a great start. Let me recap real quick. Number 10, I have Jared Goff. 9, Baker Mayfield. 8, Patrick Mahomes. 7, Jonathan Taylor. 6, Josh Allen. Number 5 is Drake May of the New England Patriots. I know some people are saying he's the MVP. The record is great. But here's the thing about May. He's made some unbelievable throws. He looks like a franchise quarterback. He still has 1 or 2 throws a game that's like, what are you doing? Like, he had a terrible pick against the Buccaneers in the end zone. They could have won by more. Just should have thrown it away. Would have had the field goal. I just, like, what are you doing? So he's been tremendous. He probably going to win some MVPs, multiple in his career. But yeah, Drake May, number 5.
Okay. More on him later.
Okay.
So my number 5 guy was Jackson Smith-Njigba, and my number 4 guy is another quarterback, probably the guy who's going to win Comeback Player of the Year, I would say. So I'm not sure if he can get MVP or not. Daniel Jones of the Indianapolis Colts, for me, was number 4. Really good. He's got the most passing yards in the NFL, 8.3 yards per attempt, 15 touchdowns. He does have a little high as far as interceptions because he's got 7 interceptions, so almost half of the number of touchdowns. But I like him a lot, and I think that he has been really good for that team, a very good resurgence player. So I put him at number 4.
I got to be honest, I never considered him. So much talent around him, and he's fumbled 3 times each of the last 2 weeks. So, too many turnovers with him. That's always been his problem, a lot of fumbles. Mm-hmm. But I get it. I get it. He's the quarterback of the team with the best record in the NFL. Okay. We're on number 4. My number 4, you mentioned him earlier, Sam Darnold of the Seahawks. I didn't think it was the best signing because he was so good for the Vikings till the last 3 games, and he looked awful. And I thought all the bad Sam Darnold's back, but he's been tremendous. He has a beautiful deep ball. He's been accurate. I've watched Seattle, and they're really good on offense, really good on defense. And Sam Darnold, just some of the throws he makes just are so impressive. And I don't know the stats. I don't know if he's got as good a stats as the guys that I have in the top 3, but just passing the eye test, I had to put him in my top 5. So Sam Darnold, number 4.
Yeah, Sam Darnold for me was number 8. He obviously deserves to be in the top 10. We just got him in a little bit different spots. So for me, Mayfield, Mac Jones, Sam Darnold, Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, Jackson Smith-Njigba. Daniel Jones was number 4. So here are the top 3 for me. And I already know that we're going to have at least 2 of the 3 that are different because you have already mentioned 2 of my top 3. So I put...
Okay.
I'm going to be really interested to see if we have the same number 1 guy. I'm going to predict right now the answer will be yes. We'll have the same number 1 guy.
Okay.
We'll see. For
All
me,
right. So you have Tyler Shuck as well?
No, I had Flacco.
Okay. Justin Fields. Justin Fields, number 1.
Oh, man. Drake May, for me, is number 3. The big reason for him to be that way, him and Justin Herbert both have 19 touchdowns. A guy that I left off my list, Jared Goff, has 20. And then another person that neither one of us have talked about yet has the most touchdowns, and we'll talk about him, I'm sure, before it's all said and done. So Drake May has the 3rd highest touchdown rate, and I'm just impressed. I agree with you that he does something every game that you're just like, no, but he's still young. He's still learning. I agree that he is probably going to win some MVPs before it's all said and done. He'll get some MVP votes, I think, this year, but I'm not sure if he'll win it, and that's why I put him at number 3. Drake May for me, number 3.
I think it was like 13-4, the best record in the AFC. He might win it. So, yeah, it's getting him 3rd in the draft. Just wow, what a pick! And Patriots were going nowhere a couple years ago. It was a disaster, and now they're in first place out of Buffalo. It's crazy.
And
my number 3.
Before you go,
yep.
You said on your channel you wanted to know a team to do a deep dive on. I'd love for you to do a deep dive on the New England Patriots, and I want you to answer a question for me. Is it more Drake May or is it more Mike Grable?
It's both, but I mean, it's probably more Drake May. You have to have a franchise quarterback. You have to have a quarterback in the NFL. If you look at every team that makes the playoffs, or the best teams, and it almost like the last 10 teams or the top 8 teams, 7 of the 8 always have top 10 quarterbacks. Like, you have to have a quarterback. It's both, though. Mike Vrabel's a great coach. It was a great hire.
I think it's interesting that here we are talking about, it's 2025 and we're talking, is the quarterback better or the coach better? And not too long ago, we were doing the same thing, going, is Brady better or is Belichick better? It's just ironic.
I think watching North Carolina, we've answered that question. Okay, like number 3 and 2, you probably didn't have in your top 10. I knew you were going to have my number 3 is Lamar Jackson. Without him, they were an absolute disaster, the Ravens. Since he's been back, they've looked amazing. He doesn't turn the ball. He's just looked tremendous. And they won 1 game without him, I think, because they played the Bears. But Lamar Jackson, considering he only played 6 games, I think he's got 15 passing touchdowns. He threw 40 last year. He's just a tremendous player. Always liked Lamar Jackson. No, you don't. But number 3, Lamar.
I'm looking up his touchdown numbers here. Hang on.
I think I saw that he had 15 in 6 games, which is tremendous. And it's a shame he didn't play every game, because he could be looking at 40 again. Most people don't know this. He threw 41 touchdowns, had 4 picks the entire year last year, and didn't win the MVP.
Well, he's not in the top. Okay, there he is. Yeah, he's 15 touchdowns, 1 interception. And you're right. I did not put him on the list because of how few games that he's played. Because I thought if I put him on this list, I had to put Burrow too, and I don't think either one of them deserved to be on the list. So I left them both off.
My number 1 stuck. Look how bad they are without him. Okay, not really, but
True.
I should.
All right. So for me, number 2 is not a quarterback. Number 2. You talked about all the weapons that he has around him and what makes Daniel Jones great. The best one is Jonathan Taylor. 1,139 yards and 15 touchdowns. I don't think I have to say anymore. He leads the league in both of those categories. When you lead the league in yards and touchdowns and you're a running back, it's like, done. So Jonathan Taylor for me, number 2.
Yes. Yeah. I had him 7. He's such a good run blocking offensive line, but still, he's doing a lot of it on his own too. So it's not just the offensive line. God, Josh Jacobs got to be watching film like, God, my offensive line can't block anything. What's going on here? Come on. My number 2, you haven't mentioned, so he's not going to be on your list, but I have Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles. Their offense hasn't always been great, but he's been clutch. He's been efficient. He's dealt with A.J. Brown complaining. Saquon Barkley hasn't had nearly the year he had last year, not even close. And he only had 60 yards against the Packers. And Jalen Hurts, he hasn't made any mistakes. And the Eagles are 7-2, their best record in the NFC. So, yeah, number 2 is Jalen Hurts of the Eagles. I originally had him like 5th or 6th, and I decided to move him up right at the end.
All right. Excellent. He is 16-1, by the way. 16 touchdowns, 1 interception. I was looking at his numbers while you were talking about him because I knew you weren't looking at any numbers. So I've got it pulled up here on the side.
It's crazy. Only one interception. Oh, that's crazy.
Only one interception. Him and Lamar only have one.
But he's played every game. Lamar's only played 6. So really impressive.
True. I'm looking just to make sure that that's a true statement. Yeah. Yeah, they're the only ones in the top 25 anyway that are that way. Now, my number one guy only has 2 interceptions. Well, let me review first. Mayfield, okay. Mac Jones, Sam Darnold, Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert at 6, Jackson Smith and Jigma at number 5. You got Daniel Jones at 4, Drake May at 3, Jonathan Taylor for me at 2, and I'm almost positive we're going to have the same number 1. I'm going to rattle off some stats here. This guy has put together a year, and honestly, I didn't know he put together this good of a year until I started looking at his numbers. It's going to be interesting if you didn't look at numbers and you put him right there, and I looked at all these numbers and said, oh my gosh, he's got to be number 1. Here's his stats.
Okay.
From week 4, since week 4, these are his weekly stats. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. The next week, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. The next week, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. The following week, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. The week after that, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. And then again, 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. So since week 4, he has thrown 20 touchdowns with 0 interceptions since week 4 of the season. That's amazing. Overall, he's 25-2, 2,427 passing yards. I can give you all kinds of different stats. 3 passes over 40-plus yards. Matthew Stafford. He is by far and away the best player in this league right now, and he plays the premium position, so I had to put him at number 1.
And one of those weeks you mentioned, he didn't have Puka Nacua. He was out with a foot injury. It was their best receiver, one of the best receivers in the NFL. Yeah, Devontae Adams signing has worked out great. But before we get into that, let me recap. My number 10 is Jared Goff, 9 Baker Mayfield, 8 Patrick Mahomes, 7 Jonathan Taylor, 6 Josh Allen, 5 Drake May, 4 Sam Darnold, 3 Lamar Jackson, 2 Jalen Hurts, and my number 1 is also Matthew Stafford. They're just playing a lot of 12 personnel because they have all these tight ends that can catch the ball. And we have Puka Nacua and we have Devontae Adams. And that offense has been tremendous. But Stafford it's crazy. He's toward the end of his career. I know it's probably the best, most talent, but they lost Cooper Kupp. It's not like, his best receiver for years is gone. Mm-hmm. And they can just sign Devontae Adams. He's still amazing. And he's so accurate. He's so accurate. He's so efficient. Gets rid of it on time. That offense is just incredible. Kyron Williams, good running back, good offensive line. But yeah, Stafford, he's just playing at another level compared to anyone else since week 4. So yeah, I had to put him number 1.
All right. I certainly agree with you. I think it's been a really, really good show, buddy. We did all kinds of stuff here today. We looked at Major League Baseball. We looked at college. We did a little trivia for you. I mean, we did a whole bunch of stuff today. And of course, everyone needs to remember and know that we got our first sponsor. You guys can go over to Battle Bites and you can use our code, which is All Gloves Off 10, and you get 10% off of all the orders forever. Not just one time.
Is it All Gloves Off 10 or All Gloves Off TN? Okay, All Gloves Off 10.
All Gloves Off 10. Yes. Okay. All Gloves Off and the number 10. Once again, you got 26 grams of high quality protein, and it's really set for athletes. And of course, if you're one of those kids that sits there and just plays the game over and over and over again, you never get up and you need a snack, dig in to Battle Bites. And the great thing, as myself being a first responder, I wanted to team with these guys because they give 10% of their profit to the Wounded Warrior Project. And we are extremely happy to partner with them here at Lights Out Sports and also All Gloves Off Sports Media. Cheese.
Yes.
Anything you want to add to the end of the show, buddy?
I just can't wait for people to watch my Bears video and Caleb Williams. I talk a lot about him. I did a real deep dive on his analytics, and Colin Cowherd just sang his praises. You know how bad Colin Cowherd is, and I rip Cowherd for it, and that's the kiss of death. When Colin Cowherd says you're great, you're cooked. And so I just make sure you check it out. I'll release it tomorrow morning on my channel. So yeah.
And what's the channel?
At Football with Cheese on YouTube. Football with Cheese, CHEZ, which I plugged for the first time tonight. So I never do that.
In the last 2 minutes.
And I'm also going to do Browns and Jaguars. You mentioned Patriots. I'm going to wait another week or two. I just want to make sure they're good. I want to make sure they're legit. Let's see, they're playing really well.
Okay.
I just want to make sure. I don't want to sing their praises and say, oh look, they're a contender, and then they lose 5 straight, like they do with Steelers, like last year, just collapse. So but yeah, I have Bears next tomorrow. Then I have Browns and Jaguars, and maybe another team this week if I have.
All right, sounds good, buddy. We appreciate that. And of course, right here at the Lights Out Sports Podcast, you can go over on our YouTube channel. And when you get there, make sure you do the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. And of course, like everything that we do, and just wait. We're going to do some video shorts and support all of us here at All Gloves Off Sports Media. Myself, Cheese with his channel, and of course, the Red Hot Reds. We're going to be adding some things soon, so stick with us. Not only can you view us, but you can also get us on audio-only platforms of Spotify and Apple Music. And we're going to add a couple more of those here in the next 30 days or so as well. So we just continue to grow. We appreciate all of you because we wouldn't be able to do it without you. Thank you guys very much. Cheese, anything else, buddy, before we say goodnight?
No, I'm hungry.
No, I'm hungry. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we certainly appreciate you, each and every one of you. We salute you all. And as always, we say the only thing that's fair in life is a baseball hit between the third and first base line. Good evening, everyone.